Hello, good morning, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us as the start of a new week. We're excited to be here to serve you nothing but the best breakfast on television. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One TV, and I'd like to say a happy New Year to everyone that is watching us. Happy New Year to all our viewers, and of course want to say thank you for being part of our journey in 2025. We appreciate you so much. We pray and hope that you did enjoy the Christmas season. We're back, and we look forward to a bright start to the new year. And so once again, Happy New Year to you, and thank you so much for joining us here on Breakfast Daily. I am Nanatufo Boateng. Now, talk of the new year, and already we're seeing what has become a worrying trend, if you ask me. Now, I'll find another day to discuss that, but I just wanted to mention, why has New Year in Ghana become synonymous with market fires? It beats my imagination, and for all these years, no lessons learned, nothing at all. We'll find time to deal with this matter, but we're not too excited to announce the passing of the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East, the Honorable Nasser Mahama Toure. Quite unfortunate. Yesterday, news was reported of his death at the Kolebu Hospital, Kolebu Teaching Hospital, after a period of illness. Commiserations to his family, and of course, we wish them strength in this difficult time. We pray that the good Lord himself will give him peace, forgive him, and grant him Jannatu Firdaus. Since he's a Muslim, it is expected that he will be laid to rest today after prayers are said for him at the National Mosque at Kanda. Hopefully, the expectation we have is that the National Chief Imam will be there to say prayers for him. We're still consoling the family. We're asking for strength for them. May they find peace in this troubling time. May they find strength in this difficult time. And the good Lord himself, who loves him more than humans, continue to protect him, bless him, and forgive him. Now, following the passing of a Member of Parliament, it's difficult at this time to even raise the issue of a by-election, but clearly the seats has to be filled. The people of Ayawaso East need representation. And so do we begin the conversation about a by-election, the cost involved, the usual violence that characterizes by-elections in the country, or should we begin to harbor and entertain the thought of an incumbent party nominating or appointing a representative to Parliament in the event that a sitting MP dies, become incapacitated, resigns, and for that reason cannot do the work? These are conversations that we need to have. Going into a by-election, considering the cost involved and the violence that usually characterizes the same, or should we begin to mold the idea of an incumbent party nominating or appointing someone, or nominating a replacement to Parliament in the event of the death of a certain MP, or this same MP resigning or becoming incapacitated, and for that matter cannot work. It is costly to run by elections, but we chose democracy, right? We chose democracy, and therefore we know the cost for it. And often you find that some greedy folks, some persons with parochial interest, selfish interest, will inflame tempers, bring pressure to bear, and this most often than not will result in violence, and that is what we preach against. And so that is the argument made by those who say or want or suggest, recommend that an incumbent party, meaning that the party from which the Member of Parliament belonged to before going to Parliament, nominates a representative to Parliament in the event of the passing of the sitting MP. But should that take precedence over the power of the people? Remember that we chose democracy, and so the power belongs to the people, all right? So, should the cost of a by-election or the violence recorded during by-elections replace the power of the people? And these are the conversations I want us to think about, even as we prepare for what lies ahead of us following the death of the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East. Now, already we know that constituents all over the country cry over the disconnect, if like the seeming disconnect between them and their elected representatives. So you'd find that some MPs are just not available for their reps, for their constituents. And you also hear constituents crying that they do not see the work of the Member of Parliament because the Member of Parliament appears far removed from the constituency or the constituents. Now, imagine allowing political parties to appoint people to Parliament on such occasions, and I'm referring to the occasion of a death, resignation, or incapacitation of a certain Member of Parliament who is unable to continue his work in the House. Parliament, as we know it to be at all times, must be representative. And that can only be done if the MPs are elected by the constituents. And so there's the argument on one hand having to do with going into a by-election, the cost involved, all the resources that will go into it, the time, and then the violence that characterizes by-elections in this country. And then there's an argument for the incumbent party to nominate a representative to Parliament in such times. What say you? What are your thoughts? Let us know what you think. Okay? Show is very interactive. Send us your thoughts, your comments, and contributions via our WhatsApp number. And then join us on our socials as well. We're on Facebook. We're on X. We are on Instagram. And you can catch some very, if you like, exclusive video content from Channel One TV on TikTok as well. Now, that said, once again, commiserations and our condolence to the family of the late Nasser Ture Mahama, who unfortunately passed away at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital yesterday. Right, so that's on one end. Now, this worrying trend of market fires, okay, that we are recording every new year, I don't know what is happening. And most often than not, the Ghana National Fire Service, after going in there, will tell us that investigations have commenced. What becomes of those investigations, we do not know. However, we know that if you want a report of those investigations, you would have to pay for same. Now, I don't know if the markets woman will be interested in going to the Ghana National Fire Service to pay money for a report of an investigation in a market, or it is for the assembly within which the market is located to go to the fire service to pay for this report, or should the state itself be interested in the outcome of such investigations? Because what it is that investigations are supposed to come up with recommendations to prevent a reoccurrence of some of these fire outbreaks. This year, it has started again. We've seen Tudu. Just yesterday, we saw Kaswa New Market. So where next? And you see, it's like we are not learning anything from the history of market fires that we've recorded. Same style. And now it's becoming very, very overly suspicious that there's something more to it. Okay? That why in the new year, why always in the new year, we are recording market fires. And they are not just small market fires. It just beats my imagination. And think about it. Think about it. On your screens now is what happened at the Circle VIP area. That's the to-do area. The fire that was recorded about a week ago, just in the early days of January. And look at the level of destruction, the shops that were destroyed, goods, properties running into several thousands, if not millions of Ghana cedis, destroyed just like that. And you always almost always find out that these fires start in the thick of the night. And so while the fire is on, lives are at stake, property being destroyed. And I'm asking that of all the fire incidents that we've investigated, what have we done with the reports of those investigations? What recommendations were in those investigations or investigative reports? And what measures have we taken? I mean, I don't get it. If we think it's normal, then we should just go and sleep. And you know the funny thing? This year, we've not even seen the Harmattan. We didn't see the Harmattan during Christmas. Did you? We didn't experience it. So it's not like there's some dry wind somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. It's becoming one too many. And I think it needs to stop. It needs to end somewhere. All right? What is the level of awareness creation? What is the level of surveillance or monitoring in the markets? Because we keep saying that people cook and leave the food on fire unattended to. And then we hear of some of these fires. How are people even storing their materials, their goods or their wares in the markets? Under what conditions or temperature are we storing combustibles? How are we doing all this? You see, it's like, it's business as usual. The fire starts. Just yesterday, Kaswa New Market, we were told about 10 fire tenders had been deployed. And yet, the people there, the market people, were complaining that the response time of the fire service was nothing to write home about. But you see, if these people are educated on one, fire prevention, and two, combat, I don't think the level of fire incidents we are recording in the country will be as escalated as we see it. So maybe we need to crack the whip. I don't know if there's any record of people being prosecuted over negligence leading to fires. I don't know records of people being prosecuted for alleged arson and what punishments have been meted out to them. But I think the time is now. We need to take a bold decision on what we're going to do about these fire incidents, because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. We need to take a very bold decision on what we are going to do about these fire incidents. How is it that in the new year, we're not recording one, we're not recording two, but about 3 or 4 fire incidents, and it's always in markets. Always in markets. Like, make this make sense to me, because I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. So maybe there should be an interagency collaboration. Fire, police, assemblies, the market queens, and whatever cooperatives or associations are in the markets that these market women and the traders belong to. So that there's some proper education, proper awareness creation, and after that, enforcement of the laws and bylaws. Because I don't know. People have invested so much. People have imported goods. People have taken loans. Other people live and sleep in these markets. And we continue to witness these fire incidents year by year, every new year. What is it about New Year's and market fires? Is it deliberate? Is someone intentionally causing these fire incidents? I don't know. I don't know. Let's all think through it together. And let's find solutions to this, because I think it's becoming one too many. And whatever the solution is, I think there should be proper interagency collaboration to stop this menace. All right? Because this trend cannot continue forever. So it's like when the new year is coming, and then if you're a market woman or you're a trader, then you're sitting on tenterhooks because you're wondering if the fire is going to come to the market where you trade or it's going to go to another market. How can we live like this as a people? If people are ignorant about fire safety, I think we need to commit more into education and awareness creation. And then when you do that, enforcement of the laws. I don't think we should do it like the typical Ghanaian attitude, if you have some family matter, and then we leave it like that. Meanwhile, properties are destroyed. Millions of cedis lost to fire outbreaks every other year. And if you go into these markets, you're going to get less than 1% of these shops and businesses insured. Less than 1%, trust me, will have insurance over their goods or their shops. What is even the insurance culture that we have as a people? How many people insure their properties in this country? So that in the event of an unfortunate incident like a fire outbreak, as we've witnessed in about 3 or 4 markets already just this year. Today is the 5th of January. Can you imagine? 5 days into the new year. And already we're burning down our markets. I don't know. There's something wrong somewhere. And the earlier we find out what it is, the better for all of us. All that said, we'll leave it to the authorities because at the end of the day, the buck stops with leadership. So let's all find a solution to these market fires. It's becoming, if you like, unbecoming. Yeah, so let's find solutions to the market fires. Anyways, I'm going to go online and get to some of our web portals and bring you some of the stories that are captured on our web portals. I'll start off with channel1newsonline.com. channel1newsonline.com. Lead story here has to do with the passing of the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso East. And story says Ghana has lost a dedicated public servant. And this is Parliament speaking on the death of the Ayawaso East MP. Ghana has lost a dedicated public servant. Inside the operation, how the U.S. moved to capture Nicolas Maduro. Well, we know that the United States of America invaded Venezuela over the weekend. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife captured and flown to the United States. And if you go to channel1newsonline.com, you find details of that operation. All right, Alhaji Olabode Williams, I think he's a former Ayawaso East NDC constituency chair, I think so, says the Ayawaso East MP's death a major blow to the constituency. Ayawaso East MP's death a major blow to constituency. Then you have the Attorney General, Dominic Ayine, here. And he says, I deplore the chaos in Parliament. I sometimes feel like quitting. I deplore the chaos in Parliament. I sometimes feel like quitting. Immigration officer arrested for allegedly smuggling 2,600 AK-47 ammunition. Immigration officer arrested for allegedly smuggling 2,600 AK-47 ammunition. Now, the story of this immigration officer brings something to mind, something I almost forgot about. On the 31st night, did you guys see a video of officers of our security agencies in uniform, mounting a parade for the leader of, what's the church? What's the name of the church? The Adunche Second Chance. Did you see military men, policemen, fire officers in uniform calling him Your Majesty, saluting him in church? Now, okay, we're doing our research. We need to establish whether these are true officers who are wearing uniform provided by the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Fire Service, and what their business was mounting a parade in the church for the leader of the church, calling him Your Majesty. This is a man who has said that he will start his own army. And what they did, is it against the law? Is it legal or illegal? We're looking into it. We'll come back and have a conversation around that. But we need to be very careful in this country. We need to be very, very careful in this country. See the disturbing traffic it caused throughout 31st and the 1st of January. That a bus will leave Kumasi 6:45 a.m. and get to Accra 7:30 p.m. just because of that stretch around Bonso, around Joaso. We need to look into some of these things. We cannot continue like this, but we'll find out if these people are proper security officers, proper officers of our security agencies. And they need to explain to us why they were in uniform mounting a parade for the leader of a church, a private something, a one-man church. Anyways, let's move on. Other stories on channel1newsonline.com. Mahama Nasser's death shocking. That's according to Ernest Adomako. He shares border with him. He's also a member of parliament. I think he's at Yawaso North. Yeah. Fire outbreak hits Kaswa New Market. Fire outbreak hits Kaswa New Market. Don't wait for sanitation day to clean the environment. That's according to Ahmed Ibrahim, Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. Suspect in viral child abuse video to face court this week. That's according to the Gender Ministry. Another nonsense that we have to deal with as a people. When we are thinking of how to provide infrastructure, when we are thinking of how to improve education in this country, when we are thinking of how to improve health, some people decide that for whatever reason, I mean, what could this child have done that you flog the child, beat the child this much? Charlie, we have serious things to think about in this country. You people should stop the fooling and help us build the country. What are you trying to teach this child? That you are beating? There's also the story of the Ayawaso East MP passing away on channel1newsonline.com. And then you have Ghana condemns U.S. military invasion of Venezuela. Edu Chum hails youth as Ghana's most valuable assets. That's a MPP flag bearer hopeful. And then gold ball losses. IMF disclosure triggers calls for transparency. That's Franklin Kujo of the Imani Africa speaking there. Let me take you to citynewsroom.com. Citynewsroom.com says, Ayawaso East MP Nasser Toure to be laid to rest today. Ayawaso East MP Nasser Toure to be laid to rest today. Pay our salary arrears or we will protest again. That's unpaid teachers warning government. Pay our salary arrears or we will protest again. Unpaid teachers warn government. From policy to pockets, what Mahama's second year means for prices and SMEs. So that's from Emmanuel Opon of the City Business Desk, writing that particular piece. You need to go check it out on citynewsroom.com. From policy to pockets, what Mahama's second year means for prices and SMEs. Now, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice is here again, Dominic Akorotenga Ayene, and he says succession talks in NDC a distraction. Succession talks in NDC a distraction. Then you have fire guts parts of Kaswa New Market. Fire guts parts of Kaswa New Market. Productivity has collapsed. Fabag disputes Temaport claims. Productivity has collapsed. Fabag disputes Temaport claims. So that's the Food and Beverages Association, Ghana. Mahama Nasser Toure's death leaves a void difficult to fill. That's the Ayawaso North MP. Yes. Mahama Nasser Toure's death leaves a void difficult to fill. That's the Ayawaso North Member of Parliament speaking there. The Yagbonra says Savannah region needs airport. Savannah region needs airports. That's according to the Yagbonra. 2 women arrested over alleged assault of 12-year-old girl at La. 2 women arrested over alleged assault of 12-year-old girl at La. They should be made to face the full rigors of the law, and of course, the full strength of the law should be brought to bear on them. If they think they have the power to punish somebody the way they did, the law should deal with them. Ayawasu East MP Mahama Nasser Ture dies after short illness. Quite unfortunate, and we continue to commiserate and console the family of the late MP. Robust T-bill demand set stone for 2026 borrowing, and bids exceed target by 19%. So go online, citynewsroom.com, channel1newsonline.com, but alternatively, you can download the Channel One News app from the Google Play Store, install same on your phone, your tablet, or whatever device you have, and you can have access to some of these stories that have headlines we've brought to you and the details of several others. So download the Channel One News app from the Google Play Store, and you have access to the news. But go online, channel1newsonline.com, as well as citynewsroom.com for all the updates, all the 411, all the information, all the relevant stories, and factual as well as accurate. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One Television. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the news review segment.
Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show here on Channel One Television. On The Point of View, we pick the right topics, get the right guests, and ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you.
With the complexities of the issues happening around us on a daily basis, it's the hard-hitting conversations and the probing questions of The Point of View.
So what is the Public Account Committee's job?
So what we do is to scrutinize, clarify, and find out why certain infractions have been made.
What do these IMF programs try to do?
The current program is for budget support.
Okay.
There are no projects attached.
That teases apart the twisted entanglements of politics and governance, as well as religious and social discourse. The Point of View brings you the policymakers and duty bearers and drills down to the very bottom of issue.
What authority do you have?
The Point of View airs every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. only on Channel One TV.
In a nation full of questions, where truth often hides behind noise, one show dares to ask what truly matters face to face. With fearless clarity and a quest for accountability, host Umaru Sanda Amadou sits down with the movers and shakers of politics, governance, society, and business, confronting the issues that define our national conversation.
Yes, I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. This is Face to Face, and you're welcome.
I say very often on the floor of Parliament that when we were in government, we got some things right, we got some things wrong.
Are you still planning to go to Parliament, or you want to look at National Party office position?
No, I'll be going back to Parliament. There's an unfinished business which I need to do.
Sports has three legs: development, management, and promotion.
Disintegration is extreme. We do not wish that even on your worst enemy.
Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Umaru Sanda Amadou on Face to Face as he digs deeper, challenges power, and reveals the stories shaping Ghana's future. Only on Channel One TV.
The festive season can be chaotic and demanding, with everyone and everything vying for your attention.
My dear friend, you are most welcome to Lifeline. This is where we have very difficult conversations that people run away from into it.
Yeah.
How do we deal with the stresses that comes?
December definitely becomes a very stressful time of the year. It's pulling you, your family's pulling you, the finances are pulling you. So financially, yes, but also your energy. You realize that you're being pulled by everyone. Everyone has expectations of you, and you don't have the energy to make everybody happy.
This week, join Bishop Fred Crunchy-Mensah and his guest as they tackle managing holiday stress and overwhelm on Lifeline. Make it 8. Lifeline airs every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. sharp, only on Channel One TV.
Grateful for your time. There's once again, you're welcome. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One Television, and it's time for the news review segment where we get to have a conversation, all right, around some of the topical issues. We invite the right guest and we ask them the relevant questions. And of course, we open it up to you to also share your thoughts with us. The show is interactive, and so join us via WhatsApp. Join us on YouTube, where we're streaming live, on Facebook as well. We're interactive on X, we're engaging on Instagram, and you can enjoy some exclusive video content from Channel One Television on TikTok as well. Now, we want to say Happy New Year and good morning, and of course, a very special welcome to the gentleman in studio this morning. Ibrahima J is here, a former Assistant Secretary at the Office of the former President. Good morning to you. It's good to have you.
Good morning. Afishepa Nanatufo.
Afin kometu ya afise seni etim.
Nyamiadom. Afio afi.
Afio afi.
Afia ya nebani nawo. May the year go and meet us again. Afia ya nebani nawo.
You should meet us plenty.
Inshallah.
Elvis Dako is also here. He's the editor of the News Center newspaper as well as the web portal newscenter.com. Elvis, good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you all. Yeah. It's the new year. We are the first to appear on this show in the new year.
Yeah.
So it means that the new year will be better.
We look forward to it.
Yes, and the new year should come with more money.
Inshallah.
Exactly. More money, so that everybody will get more money. Because when God gives you life, you are strong and you can walk around. The rest is all about money. And the Bible itself talks about the fact that money answers all things. So we pray that 2026, everybody in this room will get more money.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
more money.
Amen.
From whatever sources, whether from salary or some side issues that will come along the way so that we can make some more money. It's more important that you make more money because the cost of living. Now when your landlady or landlord is on your neck for rent, you can't even sleep in the night. Because
they increase the thing.
Of course. Of course.
Increase the rent too.
But do you think it will go down?
Hey.
It will not go down. Rent is going up. When you think about it, you ask yourself, really? A lot of things are going up. A lot of things are going up. So if you don't have money, you struggle. So for me, it's my prayer. My New Year wish is that everybody should have more money this year because we all need money to be able to survive in the system.
Yeah, true. All right, thank you. And let's get straight into our business for the day. We woke up to tweets from President Donald Trump announcing to us that of an invasion of Venezuela and the capture of the president and his wife. Subsequently, our Foreign Affairs Minister, on behalf of the government of Ghana, has condemned this invasion. And want to pick your thoughts real quick. There are those who argue on the Dufiasem tangent, and there are those who argue on the, diplomatic relations tangent. So let's look at the invasion of Venezuela by the U.S. and, of course, the condemnation by our own government here in Ghana. Elvis.
Well, it's for me, when I saw it, I was start smiling because it didn't come as a surprise to me. Because if you look at, let's say, the past 10 years in American-Venezuela relations, it's clear that America is not happy with how things are happening in Venezuela. So they have done several things, not openly, but through diplomatic circles, underground, through secret things that they've done. And they had wanted Maduro out of power. The elections were held, and the verdict was that Maduro lost the elections. That is the verdict of a lot of people in Venezuela. But then the Electoral Commission says Maduro won. So America decided that whatever it takes, they have to take out that government, no matter what it takes. Because, see, in diplomacy and international relations, see, the things like the statement our minister has issued, they are just for the optics. The real things happen in secrecy. The closed door meetings, the things that they do that nobody knows, only a few people gets to know. It's what we call diplomacy and international relations. Most of the time when you talk about diplomacy and international relations, you see things on the front burner. I say these ones are not the issues. These ones are just to keep the public mind on something. But the real thing that happens, we have no idea. Majority of the world do not know what happens. And I always refer people to two things. That if you want to know real diplomacy and what happens behind the scenes that majority of us don't know, but only few people know, go and take a critical look at the WikiLeaks documents and see the kind of things that governments were doing, American government in particular, was doing that even their own citizens do not know. Many of the things that even breach the laws of America, but because it's not public, how do you know the law has been breached? Then you follow it up with Edward Snowden's leak.
Yeah.
If you read critically these two leaks, which actually exposed a lot of things that America does in the dark, that even breaks their own laws, yet their citizens are not aware. That is what we call proper diplomacy. Because see, American foreign policy is, they always say it, and it is open, that they have permanent interest and they don't have permanent friends. So for them, it's about their interest and not friends. So they can be smiling with you, but if their interest is at stake, they don't care who you are. They will protect their interest over the friendship they have with you. And that is what the WikiLeaks exposed to the world. And that is why they have done everything possible. And today, they are still doing everything possible that the two gentlemen who actually caused them that damage, if it is possible, they should be able to get them to the US and put them behind bars. But this is a country where they say freedom of the press, freedom of speech, democracy is everything. The public must know everything. If the public must know everything, why is it that your secret has been leaked and now you want to put the people in jail? So you see, diplomacy that they always tell us, we see them having meetings, those ones, they are just for the front.
Optics.
It's just for the optics. The real ones that are done in the dark is about what is the interest of my country? How do I protect it? What do I do? Where do I have to make concessions to protect my country? Where do I have to fight for my country, not making concessions? Unfortunately, Ghana and many poorer countries, we are nowhere in the game. This game is about the powerful countries in the world. They understand what interest is. For us, we only make statements. We don't even understand what is happening in the dark. Well, you see what America has done. America sits there, they need oil to power their industries. And Venezuela is selling the oil to Russia and China. And they say, you are our next door neighbor. You are our brothers. When you are in trouble, we are the first to come to help you. If we need oil to power our industries and you are selling to our opponent, that cannot be right. You should have to give it to us because your people even migrate to our country.
Yeah.
So they don't like it. And they've done a whole lot to get it, it wasn't working. So if you see Trump, after the assignment, the first statement, the second statement, the first was to announce the success. And the second is that American oil companies can now go to Venezuela and produce oil. So it tells you the motivation for all that they've done is the oil in Venezuela.
Mind you, Venezuela was selling the oil now in yuan and euros, not necessarily dollar.
So you realize that the interest of America is what they were protecting. And for me, I always say it. That's why people say, why is that? Somebody say, don't travel to their country. I say, forget it. You must fight for your country and protect your country. What is the interest of your country is paramount over anything. So if America felt that the oil in Venezuela being sold to China and Russia is not in the interest of America, they will do anything to protect it. And people will say, America has gone to war here. Look, you can never be a superpower in the world if you have not engaged in conquest. No superpower ever emerged. Look at the Roman Empire and go to the Middle East, come to Europe, come everywhere. Any country that has once been a superpower is because of conquest. And it will never change. You can do all kinds of the diplomacy, you can do all the economic and everything. It takes conquest to determine who is powerful. And that is what America has demonstrated. And nobody should be worried about that. I know people complain, so I say, look, they are doing what they think is in the interest of their country. You may not be happy, you may not like it, but they don't give a damn about whether you are happy or not.
Yeah.
They are more concentrated on what is in the interest of the country
what
called America.
benefits the USA.
So you to think about what is the interest of your country rather than shouting. I know that the idea is that, oh, if America can do that, then every country should be afraid. It's true. Yeah, you get scared that it means that we are getting to the animal kingdom standard where the rich and powerful control. Look, we are humans. We always talk about animal farm, but I can tell you that the whole world, everything that is happening is an animal farm project. Okay? Everything we, the humans, we do is an animal farm thing. Because every single individual or country is fighting for their own interest.
Yeah.
If what is happening will affect their interest, they'll fight you.
Very well.
So I think that we should understand that for us, we are not in the game. We can come and condemn an issue statement. America doesn't care about that. What they care about is what is in the interest of America. That's what they do. So for me, the statement our foreign minister has issued, I look at it and say, well, it just reflects how we understand the diplomats as a country. Even the United Nations, the AU, read their statement they have issued. It's very terse.
Yeah.
Because they know that the power that is at stake, you can't just confront it just like that.
Yeah.
Because there are repercussions in confronting such powers. There are repercussions. If the entire AU, which represents the entire continent, even their statement is terse, it tells you that they recognize that no matter what, America is a nation that they cannot just say they are confronting. They want to avoid confrontation. And these are some of the things. I always say, when the Saudi Arabians killed that gentleman, I forgot his name, and Khashoggi, and everybody was shouting, America should sanction Saudi Arabia. I looked alive. I told somebody it will never happen. And the person asked, I said, do you really know the relations between America and Saudi Arabia? Yeah. In the Middle East, their strongest ally in the Middle East is what? Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
At that time, they have a weapons supply deal worth over $500 billion to Saudi Arabia. You want America to go and condemn Saudi Arabia so that they will take that contract to China or Israel. That one man die is not in the interest of America. They can't exchange one man's life, okay, for a $500 billion contract. They will not do that. So you see, as a country, we are. Let's always ask ourselves, what is in our interest as a country? We must fight for what is ours. I believe that the statement will be politically, it makes sense. But I think diplomatically, economically, socially, in terms of making some impact in the scheme of things, I must say that we have to really take a critical look at our foreign policy and how we react to things when they happen. Because sometimes we are out there even when the people who matter in diplomacy have not even spoken. Ghana is already out there. You see, in the world then, you have to see whether you are aligned to A or B, because whether you like it or not. So that idea of non-aligned movement, I always say, is just a confusion. Because in the world it's about power blocks. And you must understand which of the power blocks
to belong to.
If you really understand where your interest should be, you must align to a power block. But you are not a power block. That's the first thing. We are not a power block. So you must belong to a power block one way or the other.
Right.
And that is why it is important that, look, we shouldn't just play to the gallery. We want to do things that they say, oh, Ghana condemned it and all that. But behind the scenes, things that will happen in the proper diplomatic cycles may end up affecting us. I've said it here, that Mahama's one of the biggest problems facing us today in our economy, is when we attempt to sign the LGBT law. It will bring us to zero in the economy, because the America that will align with us, that they support it, they have decided not to support us financially. The whole of life, they say we are not qualified for any money from the US for various reasons. The Western countries that are likely to support you are the ones who are going to say they support LGBT, don't sign it. If you sign it, they will withdraw support. So see, there are certain things the public may be hailing you and may say do it. But the question is in the interest of the nation. So we sit in Ghana and we are more worried and concerned about what is happening between America and Venezuela. Okay, we are more concerned about America and Venezuela. The question is, in the sub-region, are we concerned about Ghana-Nigeria relations, Ghana-Togo-Benin relations? How are we looking at the benefits that will come from? Because see, those who are far away from us, and they have reasons why they are doing that. And when the thing happened, there's a section of the public who went out there who were jubilating because they supported the candidate who they claim has won, but the election was stolen. So they were there jubilating, said they have freedom. But it goes beyond that freedom. Though America will hide behind the freedom and say the man lost the election is imposing himself. American interest is not necessarily about the election.
Very well.
That is why
Trump, obvious. Thank you.
I heard ExxonMobil has distanced themselves from what Trump has said. Because
I think so far about 2 American oil companies.
That is supposed to be a secret. But that's why I say I love Trump. He doesn't hide the thing. This thing, if it were Democrats, they will just focus on the democracy. Meanwhile, underground.
They are doing their own thing.
But Trump has come to tell the whole world that it's because of the oil. It's not about the democracy.
Thank you. Let's say good morning to Comrade Elikem Kotoko, Deputy CEO Forestry Commission Ghana. It's good to have you. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Good to be here.
Great stuff. Let me pick Ibrahim's thoughts on the American invasion of Venezuela and then the statement from our own government, and then I'll come to Elikem Kotoko.
Thank you, Nana. A very good morning and a Happy New Year to all our viewers once again. Before I get to Venezuela, it's important, I think, that I address the last thing that Elvis just mentioned.
On the LGBT.
On the LGBT. You know, evil triumphs when good men fail to stand up. Because of LGBT and the money, you are willing to tell President Mahama not to sign so that all the vices.
No, I didn't say coming. I say she should. I didn't say that. I'm saying that the threat to the economy is when he signs.
Good.
Because these are the implications.
So
I support the signing of the law.
Good.
I'm only pointing out the economic implications.
I understand.
I didn't say you shouldn't
I understand.
sign. So if you say I shouldn't sign, I didn't say that.
Thank you for the correction of this. So you are somehow cautioning. Yeah, because you're talking about implications. You're not advising. You're cautioning. That should we? I'm coming. Let me land.
I support the signing. Even when Akufo-Addo said he won't sign, I said it's a mistake.
Very good.
He should sign. I said any president of Ghana should sign that law.
So let me continue my time. I get you. I think our viewers know where you stand. I think you're standing on the same podium as I am. You've clarified it for me. I'll be very brief and I'll come back to Venezuela. This is important. This is the future of our country and our nations. If we allow, because of our fear of the monetary or financial consequences,
which are very real,
I'm coming from donor countries. So therefore, we should allow and open our society, our children, to something that is so is an anathema to the human person. There are countries that have never taken a loan from the IMF. One I can mention is Ethiopia. Go and see Ethiopia today. So when we have this dichotomy, that unless I kowtow, succumb to something I know is inherently evil, so let me somehow manage what I know is wrong with financial benefit or consequences, then where are we? Where are we going as a nation? We need to stand up. I was so disappointed that then President Akufo-Addo didn't sign the bill. So disappointed. What are we doing as a nation? Would you allow your daughter to go and marry a rapist, a murderer, because of some financial, or if he doesn't marry him, those small chops that we are getting from him, knowing well what he is? Charlie, let our daughter go marry him. We know he's a murderer, he's a robber, he's a rapist. But Charlie, we're getting some, knock off you. Come on. So anyway, I just wanted to make that point there. Coming now to Venezuela. This is not the first time that it has happened. Firstly, it may surprise some people, but I support what has happened. I understand the reason that so many other countries have condemned the invasion, and you should. The fact that we don't have a bloc doesn't mean we don't have a voice. What kind of politics are we doing? I don't have a bloc, so let me keep quiet. When Nkrumah and the UGCC started and ushering this independence we are now enjoying, which ignited independence across the African continent, did they have a bloc? Did they have a bloc?
No, they did not.
They didn't have a bloc.
No.
To hell with a bloc, make sure that your principles define who you are. The only block we have is Allah, God Almighty. Once you have God, forget the blocks that Elvis was alluding to. Now, he may be talking about real politics. I understand that. In politics, you have to... I studied history, and there is an element of political history which we call real politic. It's the real politics. And you have to measure your actions and inactions within that ecosystem. So I fully understand. It's not everything you say or voice out. Sometimes you've got to do it behind the scenes. True. Do you know when a lion cub becomes a lion? After he's 6 months old. 6 months. Oh, sorry, 3 years. Sorry, 3 years. That's when a lion cub becomes a fully grown lion. 3 years. Up until his 3 years, that's 36 months, baboons and monkeys and hyenas can be beating him up. He doesn't fight them. He waits till he becomes a king of the jungle. He says, Enche, 3 years, 36 months. I'll show you guys who I am. But up until his 3 years, that lion cub is beaten about and slapped by monkeys and hyenas and baboons. So I understand Elvis's point. It's important that you measure when you speak and how you speak till you're strong enough. But until now, sometimes we have to determine, and I'm using about Venezuela now. I applaud and support all the nations who have condemned this. Because if you don't, at what point will it end? Those Africans who did not stand up to the colonialists when they came in with the Bond of 1888 and all those maneuverings to capture Africa, Asia, China when it had the Opium Wars, Hong Kong under Perry Como, 159-year lease. The British said this belongs to us. So, you know, what's the difference? They took Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So we have to stand up now. Though I support the invasion, why do I support the invasion? Because Maduro is reaping the consequences of what he did. He clearly lost the election. He lost it. Now somebody said, but Ibrahim, you're only getting your source from, you know, the international news outlets. But, you know, thankfully today we are so much connected. When you go at the time, in terms of social media posts by Venezuelans, you saw that Maduro had lost the election. So I'm very happy, personally, that he's gone, because ultimately, you don't want democracy for its sake, but that it has a proper impact and speaks to the will of the people on the ground. And the will of the people was curtailed at the last election, so-called election that Maduro orchestrated. So am I happy he's gone? The answer is yes. The manner in which he's gone, no. Because again, you have to deal with the real politics. But I'm happy that he's gone. You remember 2 weeks ago, I said the same thing about ECOWAS. When there is a military coup, you ECOWAS leaders are quick to condemn it. But when you, the same ECOWAS leaders, do your military coup by the paper, extending term limits, manipulating the constitution. You keep quiet. So why should I be duplicitous? If I'm saying that I'm support interventions in African states, I'm using ECOWAS, who clearly have manipulated the constitution and the ballot box and the election. Why should I say I'm now not, and I'm supporting military intervention? Was it not a military intervention that took out Talon? Benin?
Yeah, Benin?
Yes.
Yeah.
So why should I say I'm in support of military intervention when clearly there's been a corruption of the process, the electoral process, and then when it comes to South America, I say I'm not in favor. I'm happy that President Trump has done so. But the way and manner, sometimes when you garner a coalition of the willing.
Could Trump and the U.S. have put enough pressure on Maduro to abdicate the seat instead of going in there to capture him in the way and manner they did? Because it looks like that is where the challenge is, where there's a breach of the UN Charter, international laws, territorial, political democracy, the sovereignty of the state.
Well, the answer is yes and no, and I'll give you the yes and no. It's a long game. America right now, in terms of its petrol dollars, its petrol reserves is down. You know, and right now, Elvis mentioned, and you mentioned in that before, that indeed Venezuela was now pricing its is oil,
oil.
in yuan, and the
then euro.
fledgling BRICS currency that's coming, and the euro. Now that is an existential threat to America. The world economy is based on the petrodollar.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's been using up its reserves. Okay, America has over 25 years worth of reserves. I'm talking years worth of supplying its own citizens, domestic supply.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the Yucatan, what do you call it, mountains, because there, you know, oil is sulfurous, you know, and they store the crude in those mountains there. So they have 25 years. They learned the lesson from the oil crisis in the 70s. But that is now depleting. And you have Venezuela, who has more oil reserves than Saudi Arabia and Iran and another country put together. I think we all read the news feed.
It has about 300 billion.
Yes. It has more gold than Ghana, Nigeria, and South Africa. So it's the waiting game. It didn't want the pressure on the petrodollar to continue, given the way in which it was now cozying up with China and Russia. And it decided to act. So it's not about waiting. But this is not the first time. Let me read something here. 1954, Jacobo Arbenz, president of Guatemala, CIA orchestrated his removal through invasion. Again, 10 years later, 1964, Yao Goulart, president of Brazil. You had a U.S. naval and logistical support for a military coup. I won't go too long, just a couple more. Salvador Allende, most people know him, Chile. 1973, CIA funded the opposition, supported Pinochet's coup, and removed him. Isabel Perón, Argentina. Don't cry for me, Argentina. I think we know the song. Again, 1976, what happened? The U.S. signaled a green flag for the military junta coup. Manuel Noriega, we all know him. 1989, Panama. Somebody with the sovereign right saying this is the Panama Canal is ours, we'll regulate it. They took him out on drugs charges. And then, of course, we have 2026, Nicolas Maduro. So the waiting game is never an issue. It's just that maybe Trump has expedited the outcome. They've done it in the past. And don't think that they've only done it to...
but I didn't talk about Libya.
Maybe you should.
I'm coming.
Maybe you should bring it.
I'm coming.
Talk about Iraq. Talk about Libya.
I'm coming. If you know that I do my work, I do my research.
Bring it
because
home. Bring it
here
close
you
to
have.
home.
It is. Patrice Lumumba, DR Congo, 1961, authorized assassination. I didn't do it in vacuum. Nelson Mandela, South Africa. When Nelson Mandela was escaping the apartheid regime, they gave intelligence. America gave the Pretoria capital intelligence that where he was, how he's dressed, and they arrested him dressed as a chauffeur. Then it comes to Kwame Nkrumah here in Ghana, 1966. They backed the military. When I say they, I'm talking about America.
CIA.
They backed the military to remove him. Okay? Come down to Burkina Faso. Okay? Thomas Sankara, 1987. They were complicit. And I can go on, and if I do that, Elika won't have time to talk. Do you get me? So I didn't look at South America. You preempted what I was about to say. Across the world, America has terrorized states. They have. What is terror? To be in fear. That's what it means, to be in fear. We talk about these countries being banana republics, but look at, some people will tell you that it goes down to the Cold War politics, the non-aligned movement that Elvis mentioned. But you know, the Monroe Doctrine, which talked about why America wanted to ensure that the Western Hemisphere, its backyard, no longer had European influence. Now, the person who drafted the Monroe Doctrine, it was under President Monroe, okay? But the person who drafted it was his Secretary of State, John Quincy Adams. He was a Unitarian. He doesn't believe in the Trinity. You know, he's like monotheistic, like Muslims. He's a Unitarian, and he drafted the Monroe Doctrine specifically as a framework for America to resist any form of colonial expansion within the Americas. That America is the sole power in the region. His father was John Adams. John Adams is who? John Adams was the second president of the United States of America. So look at that. I'm giving you from 1821. This thing didn't happen post the Cold War. This agenda is over 200 years old, where America saw a long vision and said, no, we don't want Europeans here and within our area in terms of their hegemony, the resources. And so whenever you have clearly a leftist regime, America doesn't want to do business with you. And until and unless the Americans, I'm talking Americans, come together, okay, there's no way in which they will succeed. I wanted to ask something here, but I think it's important because sometimes we have to speak
real quick, so we can
very quickly. Yeah, we have to speak to our brothers and sisters in South America in a way that they can understand. Gemini, are you there? I'm see if it's there. It's a quick question. Gemini, are you there? I'm praying it answers quickly.
Well,
it's not picking. But anyway, what I wanted to do in Spanish for Gemini to speak to our brothers and sisters within South America, and for them to understand that until and unless they unite politically and economically, they will forever have third parties or third forces coming to manipulate their sovereignty, their independence, and their economy. That's what I wanted Gemini to say in Spanish, just so that it hits home more than the English, submission that I'm given. You know. So to conclude, I'm happy that Maduro has gone, because the interests of the people should be what motivates my submission here.
Right.
Elvis mentioned it. You know, you had Jamal Khashoggi, okay, murdered by Saudi Arabia, and America is going to put its interests on one person compared to the $500 billion contract. I understand that. Likewise, I'm in no way going to support Maduro when you have over millions of Venezuelans suffering under his regime. But we have to speak up, because the time will come when it's you, whichever country we're talking about, the time will come when it's you. The CIA...
Your point about the suffering of millions is a critical one, highlighting...
Gemini, are you there? Very quickly. Gemini, listen. Gemini, I want you to say this in Spanish. She's gone. I'll leave it. It's very important. Greece, a European country, had its leadership removed because it was leftist and against American interests. So it's not purely in terms of Latin America and Africa. But behind the scenes, the CIA and the American administration, Elvis alluded to it, WikiLeaks. When you see and read the Panama Papers, what they've been doing throughout the last century or so, I'm talking America, it should open up our eyes and our ears that there is currency in us making sure that we work together. And this is a lesson for us in Africa in the last 10 seconds. Until and unless we Africans, with determined ambition, unite, we'll continue to face these extrajudicial and third-party forces on our economies. And it's incumbent upon us, we are the ambassadors, or it's our watch now as leaders today, to really make a determined effort for Africa. Instead of hugging our small economies, that doesn't take us anywhere. Put our resources, both economically and politically, together to make sure that we have what? A United States of Africa. That day, God willing, inshallah, will come. But until we do that, we'll be fragmented and we'll never really enjoy the freedom that is our God-given right.
Right. Very well. Elikem, let me come to you. For some of the comments that are attributed to President Donald Trump suggest that the U.S. is going to be ruling Venezuela until a time where, I don't know whether they are going to, if like, organize an elections for Venezuela, or until a time that they are satisfied that there's a democratically elected president. I mean, it smacks of colonialism. It takes us way back. And I don't think how far we've come with the U.S. itself claiming to be the grandfather of democracy. It's quite a difficult situation.
Yeah, my brother, good morning. And permit me first and foremost to wish my good sister Beatrice Annan a happy birthday.
Oh wow, it's a birthday.
And also John Akundare. Then also one Elikem de Tologo, and then Malik Basentali, whose birthdays it was yesterday.
Right.
Then further, I would want to just say a little bit on the LGBT thing that my brother here said. In fact, President Mahama is not only committed to ensuring that we uphold the traditional values of this country as a sovereign state. And I'm happy to hear my brother also state clearly that he was very appalled at the fact that President Nana-Addo deliberately refused to sign, and he was not happy about that. Look, there could not be any better time than now, when even the American president is strongly opposed to what is being talked about. And he has said it very clearly, that you're either born a man or a woman and nothing else. And so, what better time than when even the American president holds in high esteem the very Christian values and doctrines of our tradition that we believe, frowns on that. So there's no qualms about that at all. And let's not try to sway the debate into economic what have you. All that nonsense has not helped in any ways. I mean, Ghana has not gone for any external debt for in the past 1 year alone, at least. And have we died? What has happened? It is just because we have failed as a people to craft policies that are homegrown in order to address our solutions. We always allow the Bretton Woods institutions come and tell us that based on the fact that you and I went into their Western educational processes, this is what trial balance looks like, this is what that looks like, and we are never even trained in any way to challenge the status quo. And so, I mean, ask ourselves, what is Atuforsen doing that the APSA, the IMF, etc., or the Bloomberg, etc., predicted that the dollar, the CD will hit 25 or 14, APSA, where are we today? So it tells you that they never get it wrong always. So we must just be confident in ourselves. And that is what I will use to dovetail into the confidence of President Mahama and our Foreign Affairs Minister, Sam Okudzeto-Ablakwa. You are a country, a sovereign state for that matter, and you belong to the UN not just because you're a banana republic or you were chosen by anybody to be there. You went there on your own volition and are signatory to all the charters and what have you. Even if your voice will not matter, still make sure you are heard. Still speak up. And so you can't take away the fact that, just as we all know, in any case, I am strongly opposed to what is happening in Venezuela. Because point to any single country where America has tried to intervene in any way that has become successful. It has always been America's interest. It has never been for the, and in fact, I wanted to read this, which is what I have as my, I don't know, if you go on my Facebook, I said, look, Africa, define your democracy, craft your own socio-eco-political policies to emerge as an African lion. That has been my very, biography, whatever they term it, on my Facebook, right from when I opened this account. Because I believe that in the first place, whatever we are being taught are supposed to be convenient for a certain group of people to the West. I mean, if you take the whole thing talked about even democracy, I do not think that what is suitable for Africa is really the democracy the Western world is pushing down our throats. We might, in Africa, probably need a benevolent dictator in order to be able to be strict. Why is it that when you go to the Western world, we all say, look, there's orderliness and all of that? You can never use that kind of democracy to put orderliness in Africa, in Ghana. Never. It won't work. Don't litter here, they litter there. So if you don't have somebody who has a bit of some toughness, you can't have it done. Now, it's also clear that President Donald Trump has made it very obvious that it is not only because of any other things rather than oil, which is a major area of concern. Yeah. And don't forget that Donald Trump, it seems, is almost bombarding about 6 countries so far, Nigeria also being one. And this doesn't speak well for the world community. Yes, America is a world superpower. They've always had their interests. And because Maduro will now be trying to price their oil in other currencies than dollar, it will be affecting the dollar economy. And you know, the American economy, largely we can say, lives on a bit of a bubble. And so when these things are happening, the BRICS is already also having its chipping effect on America. But students of international relations and diplomacy will all stand firm to tell you, this falls flat before law. be the UN Charter, the international law, the sovereignty of the state. We cannot be saying here that because Maduro, I frown on whatever excesses he may also be doing in his country. But we cannot say here that even in America itself, there are no excesses over there. Why don't we see on TV every day people who are virtually, you and I here can sometimes conclude that the maddest of people are in America. Because somebody just gets up, takes a weapon, he goes to a school and he's spraying human beings. What have you done? What are your gun laws doing to protect people, innocent citizens of your own country? But again, when you come to the democracy in Maduro's country, and also one major concern has been that the drug trade and all of that, it hasn't always gotten to do with the supply. The demand has also been there. So the very people who are in America, etc., who are also demanding these drugs should also be checked. If the demand is not there, the supply will also be there. It's because there's a demand for it. So we need to really look at all of these things, and then I am very happy with the statement by the government of Ghana. It is to make it very clear that what is happening there frowns on law, frowns on every available or possible charter that we are all signatories to. You may not be so concerned today. Before you know it, tomorrow is happening next door. And I think just 2 days or so, we heard that there was some suspicion of semblance in Burkina Faso, and around 1 a.m., all the citizens marched to the palace to try to protest. Yes, you can tell. And I have said this everywhere. Go read a book, I've forgotten the author, The True Confessions of an Economic Hitman. It tells you how all these things are planned just to keep Africa, for instance, or the developing country, continually where we are. Because we are the dumping ground, we are the one to be suppressed, to be manipulated. If not, then where else will some of these things happen? So we need to really look at this carefully. I am glad, and I'm reiterating it, that our government has made its position very clear, that this is not acceptable. It is not something we must say that, oh, because we are also friends to America. We are friends to everybody. We are friends to anybody. Whether it is because of non-aligned movement, whatever. No. What is wrong is wrong. It does not. Look, do you think that in diplomacy or international relations, the people in America also do not know that probably what is going on is wrong? They obviously know. But they have a certain integral interest, which they believe surpasses all interests and is an American interest, for which reason they must do what they are doing. And so if you even write in protest of that, they know that what is contained in that letter is truly the fact as it's supposed to be. They may ignore you, but posterity and record has it that when this happened, you stood your grounds and commented on it. We cannot be a country of just commiserating with the loss of lives in other countries, fires in other countries, etc. Every matter, we must have a stake. We must have a position. And so it is not about knowing when to speak and when not to speak. No, I think that this is Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana. And we must begin to show the way. And don't forget that not long ago, our president was at the UN General Assembly and made a very significant statement where it caught the attention of the world. And so we must be seen to be on that tangent, to be consistent with what we believe is. And being vocal is one of them. You cannot be a hypocrite. And so having said this, I think that the whole world is watching America. We know that they may also continue with their interests. It is the reason why there is the need for us to really look into the UN Security Council and other interests, because democracy, as they always want to preach it to us, is not what is being practiced after all. And so if you, Trump, you have gone ahead to do this, the people who elected their president, who claimed they didn't even elect him, it was rigged, whatever, they know the processes to go through. That is what brings us back to why I kept raising concerns that what the West describes to us as democracy may not be necessarily what will work for all of us. Now it is even becoming clear, because with Maduro's iron fist, whatever, it was becoming difficult for the people to oppose or to say that we didn't vote for him. So he also oppressing them. But it does not take the sovereignty, which is absolute, from that country. And it is only its citizens. Are we saying that, like I said, in Ghana here, in Cote d'Ivoire, in Togo, in US itself, in the UK, are there not excesses? Are they not practicing democracy? Are we not aware of sometimes how even there are legal bending of issues in the judiciary, etc., across the globe? So why are we pretending and wanting to zoom in on. That is why we all said that, well, thankfully, Donald Trump made it clear what the interest is. The world now needs to know, this is his interest. What do we do? What can we do? Is there anything that can be done? Do we just sit aloof? Because this is a world superpower. And what are the allies, the China, the Russia, etc.? What are they doing? And you see, these are the little things that, if care is not taken, can again explode into, God forbid, by the World War III or something else. Because if all other countries could be very reasoning, especially even the small ones, that look, this and that is happening, it means tomorrow they can do it to me also. Then the United States or the United African State that the Kwame Nkrumah was calling for long ago is as relevant today as it was even yesterday. Because if we do not come together and become a strong bloc, then we are all very vulnerable. So this is very sad, and it must not take another country to dictate or decide for another what their sovereignty is, what their democracy should be, what their economic prospects should be, and how they must be run. No. In effect, it means that every country in that sovereignty should be allowed to craft, like I said, should craft your own socio-eco-political policy that you think best fits your situation in order to run your country. So long as it is what will inure to the benefit of your people, that is it. But that has not been the case. We've all been told that there's something called democracy from the West, and it means that on average you go for 4 years, 2 terms, after that don't go again if you try. Look at Rwanda. You and I sitting here today can tell that for some time now, Rwanda has not been a real Western democracy. And they have been succeeding at it. A benevolent dictator, I call that. Because they are not trying to buy into the whole Western nonsense. Excuse me, for instance, if you go to Rwanda and you want to even set up a church, there's a minimum qualification you need to have, minimum education, so that you don't just go about doing any kind of thing and be giving fake prophecies and be saying this and all that. So there's a lot of, it also has its negatives. Just as I'm speaking now, if they are Rwandese also watching, they will be like, what is this guy saying? They may disagree with some of the things, but a lot of the world also takes a lot of lessons from Rwanda as well too. So these are things we need to look at in order to move ahead as people.
Very well. Oh, 2 minutes to wrap up on this.
Well, as I've said, every superpower in the world is through conquest. Without conquest, you can never be a superpower. So if Africa wants to be a superpower, one, you have to think about how you can conquer. You have to have how your intelligence gathering. As we're saying, every toppling of every government is as a result of intelligence. Maduro, they had air defense systems and everything. America studied how to actually deal with the air defense system, deal with any protection around him, all the way to his bedroom. And that day, they knew the particular bedroom he was going to sleep in. Intelligence. So you see, we can talk plenty.
There are concerns about complicity on his side. Maduro's army generals.
I say, it is not, this is the problem we are talking about. As we speak, there's nothing that happens in Ghana. America is not ahead of us. Because they give us military equipment. They give us this intelligence equipment. And then we say they are donation. We are happy. We say we don't have money to buy it. Do you know the kind of intelligence they are gathering out of what they are giving you?
True.
So countries around the world, they get all kinds of things from America. But within those things are things that send information to them. But you are not aware. You didn't build the system. You don't know what is hidden somewhere. So you see, we should begin to think properly if we really want to safeguard ourselves. For now, no country in the world can say it's that strong above the U.S. or cannot be invaded by the U.S. Look, for 200 years, the U.S. waged a war called Banana Wars, a series of military interventions in Central America,
South America,
to protect the interests of U.S. corporations in the region. So you see, we sit in Ghana today, U.S. companies here, they are operating. If we start make decisions, pass laws, and they feel like these laws are against our interests as companies, all they need to do is to file a report to the U.S. through the State Department and say, this is the way Ghana, this government is treating us. We believe that all the investment we made in this country, if nothing is done about it, we will lose this amount of money. The U.S. government can decide to take the government of Ghana out.
They'll use visa restrictions.
Just to protect the interest of the companies.
Yeah, the corporations, yeah.
Because whatever work they do, the returns on investment goes back to the American economy. Yeah. So they understand the value of all U.S. corporations that have gone out of the U.S. to go and do business. They are part of the reason America is the most powerful country, because they are now siphoning economic benefits from poorer countries, from the return on investments from all those countries back to the United States. So they are not only interested in military. In fact, the reason they are using the military to do a lot of things is for the economic interest. Because if you are not an economic power, you can never be a world power.
Right.
So they protect the economic interest of America, and America corporations. They are private businesses working elsewhere, but then they will use the power of the state to protect that corporation, so that the interest on return on investment goes back to America. So you see, we must understand that. That's what I say. You think that America is your friend. America is not your friend. America is only your friend when they know what they are getting from you. Somebody said there are countries that have no resources. If they are killing themselves, America doesn't care. Because if it goes there, what is he going to get from there? If American corporations are not there digging the natural resources and making money, and those countries decide to murder themselves, America is not interested. Right. Because there are no American corporations there. The country America is not losing anything there. So you can murder yourself. But so long as they have something to gain from there, they will have some rule. So you see, as a people, as Africans, as developing countries, the question is, how do you look at what America has done, strategize, and decide to do? You see, let's not play with territorial intent. That's why people back what Putin is doing. If you're America, you can intervene in all the American countries around you just because you want to have control. Why are you saying that Putin cannot do the same for the countries around it? But see, America understands that aside protecting those in my backyard, I need assets outside my backyard to control the world. So what they are doing in America, they don't want Putin to do it. What they are doing, they don't want Xi Jinping to do it. So they will say, if Xi Jinping tries Taiwan, America is ready to fight for Taiwan, because if they allow China to also conquer and control all the Asian countries, it means China will become powerful.
True.
So outside their backyard, they understand the power of conquest. And these things, it's not about governments. That is why both Democratic and Republican governments of America wage war. Because if the people who think for the nation in America sit down, the CIA, the Department of Defense, all the intelligences come together and say, today, we think that what is happening in Ghana is against the interests of America, so there must be intervention. That is it. The American government will intervene.
Right.
And because of that, they don't care how much money they sink into war. They don't look. America has spent, by now they are like 200 billion in the Ukraine war. America alone's investment in the Ukraine war by now is exceeding $200 billion. But what is happening? They just want to make sure that Russia and Putin do not have the control they need to have over there in order to challenge the superiority of America. So pure countries like Ghana and the rest, as I've said, we can condemn. But the question is, in terms of the real power, what are we doing to be able to build that power that America has, that is controlling? What can you do to build the power Putin has built to think that he can challenge the U.S.? What are you doing to build the power economically that China has built and think that they can challenge the U.S.?
Right.
This is what Africa should be thinking about. So once you are issuing the statement and condemning, it should not end there. It should be beyond that. What else can we do? We sit in Africa and on Christmas they were told America all the way supported Nigeria to go and attack terrorists. The question, the entire continent of Africa, we are all complaining that the activities of terrorist groups in Africa is destabilizing the continent, and if it continues, our dream of becoming economic power will not materialize, because you cannot build economy within conflict zones. But how are we as African countries under the AU helping to fight these terrorist groups? No, we sit there and talk and make statements, and you have to take America to come in, to come and fight. When Gaddafi was alive and they had real interest there, it was America that was supporting Gaddafi to fight the terrorists within the Sahel region. Ever since Gaddafi died, you see that the terrorists have actually expanded within the Sahel region, because there's no more Gaddafi fighting them. But we are shouting, why is America intervening? When we ourselves on the continent of Africa, under the AU, under ECOWAS and the rest, we sit aloof and allow this group to operate freely.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll take a few messages, go on a break, and then I'll come pick your final thoughts on this. This one says, good morning. I really appreciate the in-depth knowledge of Elvis Darko. He hits the nail right on the head. Emotions, religious fanaticism do not develop a nation. Ghana must be wise. Ghana must move with the profitable big boys. This is Barnabas from Teshi. Master Planner Jr. from Kintampo says, how can a democratic country like the U.S. act undemocratic like this? This is counterintuitive and must be condemned by all. Kweku Trump should stop the digital colonialism. Anyway, 26 days more to go to the polls. Dr. Baumia is number 3 on the ballot paper. Well, thank you very much, Master Planner. Keep sending your messages in. We'll take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll continue with the conversations. Don't go away. Stay with us.
Enjoy your best ever Christmas at Vaniado. Priceless. Bathroom furniture, kitchens, and tiles. Priceless. Get 10% off everything. Less. 20% off more things. Less. And 30% off old things. Priceless. It's Christmas at Vaniado while stocks last. Call or WhatsApp 055-000-0031. Visit our showroom at Laboni Junction. Priceless. Vaniado.com.
Rubia, say dear, yes, economy yankasa, enti, Kanena ne Bosili, Madame Yashan, Nina, Akem, a Nas Boy Enterprise, SM control say, what's you fear ye? We hear POP ceiling papa, with many design, plasterboard installation, TV unit design, a Cassian Kitwa, and Italian a Hoodwina, or Becani needs at the amount. Afi, was Sansuya painting, into a damn beer was here, for Fred and Nas Boy Enterprise. You will paint in the comma at the amount. Afi, window designs beer. Yeni nyina bi ebiana wo dwen se wo besifie na fie na wo besie no so no wo hia de so bi mada Anasboy Enterprise ST say residential and commercial construction afi we renovation and remodeling surveying bi a open no obene kama e de amount afi architectural design say ko twi ko brema bae and drawing plans wo be ne neat e de amount menua berema ma me kan for Anasboy Enterprise and for mao e say wonim de na ne nsa no ye fe come on enti sa open ne ma mabobbo so nyina ejumadia Anasboy Enterprise, no show needs. Located Anasboy Enterprise, our Tantra Hill, Amasamai, and Ablikuma, Canada Junction, Saopin Shimwa, Fred 034-611-3461. Anasboy Enterprise, Woodimte, Ankasa.
Welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television. We're having the news review segment. Ibrahim Ajay is here, Likam Kotoko is here, Elvis Darko is also here. Let me take this quick message and then I go to Ibrahim for final thoughts on the U.S. invasion of Venezuela. Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm says, good morning, my brother. Nana, please, let's face it. There was nothing like picking of intelligence in Venezuela. Hey. America is only interested in the oil in Venezuela.
I don't get the oil
if you don't have intel. Yeah. When America gives you something with the right hand, don't be happy because they will return and take it with the left from you. Listen to what Trump said. According to him, China should not be worried because they will gain a lot of oil in Venezuela. I totally agree with the comments made by my good brother Elikem Kotoko. What a brilliant submission. Okay, this one says, hi, Channel 1 TV. I want to correct this misrepresentation that has thrived in the media, particularly by NDC propagandists for some time now. The same thing is being peddled by Ibrahim and Elikem on your show this morning. President Mahama is on record to have said that when the LGBTQI plus bill was passed, a case was brought against Parliament, which led to Parliament being injuncted from forwarding the bill to the President to be assented to. The point is that President Akufo-Addo never refused to sign the bill. Intellectual dishonesty is one of the biggest problems of this country. People who desperately skew the facts just to satisfy their interests. This is Ibn. Well, Ibn, I don't think the conversation here has been about whether or not there was a deliberate decision not to sign. It's the fact that it was not signed. That's the conversation that we're having. So please, when the guests are speaking, let's please pay.
Did he see the letter where the Nana Beditu wrote to Parliament that they should transmit the bill to the president?
The presidency.
Did he see that letter?
Yeah.
What is it that? What was
what
in
is
that
that
letter?
supposed to say?
You say you want to speak facts, but you are the one twisting the things to your interest.
The truth is that whoever the Ibn guy is ignorant of the facts.
Very
Ignorance.
well.
That is pure ignorance. So he's
ignorant of deliberate propaganda.
Babangida Truth's letter. So he can be pardoned.
Very well, Ibrahim, 2 minutes and then we can move on. 2 minutes on Venezuela.
Really, it's important. And
Ibrahim was in Akufo-Addo's office. How would he know what happened?
You can see that to Eben, I'm speaking directly to Eben, respectfully. You see that we do our research, myself, Elikem, and Elvis. It's a privilege to be here. So we don't come here without the facts. Yes, it's based upon our opinion, but it's opinion based upon fact.
Yeah.
And I always say, just as Zora Mamdani said, you can be entitled to your own opinions, but not to your own facts. And what we've stated is, in fact, the reality.
Yeah.
That bill should have been passed. It wasn't. Ask yourself.
Passed. Should have been signed.
Signed. Should have been signed. Assented to. Why? So, Eben, think of Ghana before yourself. Before you say that we're peddling untruths. I did the recording. And allow me. You gave me 2 minutes. Eben is taking 30 seconds.
Very well.
I said, and it's important, you know, we think we're acting alone. We're not. The moment we start to feel so compartmentalized, that's the end. But the moment we can speak out for our fellow citizens across the globe, that's when you see real power manifesting. And I said earlier to our fellow citizens in Latin America, until and unless you work to unite politically and economically, third-party forces will always manipulate you, and you will never enjoy the freedoms that you're entitled to. And this is what it is in Spanish.
A nuestros conciudadanos en América Latina, hasta que llamemos que se unan política y económicamente, estarán para siempre a merced de la manipulación de terceros.
Thank you.
¿Es correcto?
It is correct.
All right, thank you.
So I wanted to do that because you go on YouTube, I'm talking Channel 1, Instagram, Facebook, and you have a global audience. And sometimes we assume everybody understands English. We assume. Not everybody does, in the same way that you don't understand French as well as somebody thinking you should. So I wanted to say that to ginger them up. But on the issue of Venezuela, in terms of rounding up our discussion on this topic here, Nana, it's important, and again, I'm reiterating my stance. I'm happy Maduro is gone. I can't say one thing yesterday and change my tongue today. I'm happy because I'm thinking of the Venezuelan people. But the manner in which, sometimes when you do a coalition of the willing, then you see that there are other stakeholders other than America. It's always been the main stakeholder. But, you know, President Trump has been direct. We're here for the oil. And there's lithium, largest reserves of lithium as well. And I mentioned the gold earlier. So what do we do in a situation where you have a despot, a dictator in place? Do we allow it for the sake of democracy? Or do we support interventions? The idea is you support interventions. It's also important to address politics in a way that you can feel it. If there are armed robbers in your house, would you want your neighbors to come in and remove them? The answer is clearly yes. But you can't say, oh, well, the armed robbers came in and they redid the constitution and therefore they are the sovereign government. Think about it. Who would allow that so-called sovereignty to prevail? Because they've now signed the constitution, they are armed robbers, they're illegals, they're squatters, they're invaders in my home. And you want to call upon your neighbor or neighbors to come and remove them. And any right-thinking person would support the removal of that neighbor, that armed robber. So Maduro being ejected is, I think, something that we should celebrate, if not support. The manner in which it was done is where I have issue. Because where there are other stakeholders, I'm talking the United Nations are involved, AU is involved, though Elvis rightly says, do we have any teeth to bite with? Likewise, European Union. Likewise, the Americas themselves. Can you imagine? Because he's tried it and he said it. If Trump says, do you know what? Canada, you will become the 51st state. What will we as in the world think? Can you imagine if he takes over Greenland, a semi-autonomous state from Denmark, and he's made that? And, you know, Usha Vance, the second lady of America, has given us an envoy to go to Greenland.
Yeah.
And we sit here, it's not only Trump. Look, the average age in America for a man is between 79 and 81. Trump is going to be 80 this year. Trump will come and go, but the consequences of what he does, if we as a body, and I'm a supporter of Trump, I am, but if I support you, I should support everything?
No.
Good. So the consequences, Trump will go within the next 5 years or so, as we all will. Me too, I will die. But what are the consequences if we fail to act? Because I gave you John Quincy Adams, the Secretary of State to Monroe, the son of John Adams, the second president, who drafted this constitution, the Monroe Doctrine, that this is our backyard, no Europeans allowed. And now they just expanded that to say the world is our backyard, and as has been mentioned, if it's not interest, woe betide you. We can't do that. We cannot be fearful. That's what terrorism is, to be in fear. I'm coming. We cannot be fearful because we feel that we are not at the decision-making table. I'm talking Africa. We are at the decision-making table, and the decision table is ours to do. If we think, oh, but if we get together, America will come and undermine us. You know how these guys work. They have the intelligence networks, you know, all the equipments that they've given to us. You know, they have RFIDs inside, you know, and siphoning all the information. We know that. But you have to step up. You have to find courage where there's no courage as a continent. We have to make sure that we pool our resources together. It has to be a time where Ghana's gold does not belong to Ghana, but to the continental territory of Africa. And so properly deployed. When we get that, then you have the teeth, you have the power to actually be a global force. I'm talking Africa. Why is Trump so scared of BRICS? He's saying that if you join BRICS, you know, he's going to be against you. Allow him to be against you. It's the unity and the determined effort that Africa needs. And you can join on with like partners such as the BRICS and say that let us make sure that we work in the interest of Africa before we even think of aligning with Asia. It's the unity, a determined unity, that will allow us not to face what Venezuela and South America have been facing, though we've been having it all this while.
Well, Ibrahim, thank you. Elikem.
Yeah, just a quick
final thoughts on this.
Talk about intelligence gathering and all that. I have been amazed at what in the past decade and over, what our intelligence gathering has been. You know, today, almost everybody wants to tell you, I work with national security. I am. Meanwhile, growing up as a kid, I recall in the era of growing up as a kid, you can never tell who works even for national security. Is the carpenter, the cameraman, the teacher, the tomato seller, the market woman, the mason, the trotro driver of feet mechanic, all that.
Now we carry gota and we are brandishing it everywhere.
So we need to relook at
some of them are even toys. They are lying.
A total overhaul of what our intelligence gathering and intelligence is. Yes, I have said it time and over again. Venezuela is a sovereign state, and that sovereignty is absolute. And so no country has the right to, under any circumstance, invade, as has been done. And look, point to any single country. I remember, what's the name? Hugo Chavez. I recall Gaston Pinochet. I recall Muammar Gaddafi. Saddam Hussein. And mind you, the U.S. attempted 600 assassination attempts on Fidel Castro. That spanned over 11 presidents. So I'm only saying America is not what they do. But point to a single country where there's been any such interventions and it helped the people. It has never been. So even though the people may be jubilating today on the streets, thinking that a dictator has left, their situation will be worse off. And it just takes a matter of time. I only pray that a certain leadership of fortitude, of determination, and that strong will of statehood will arise and be and match up to the call in order to be a perfect successor to Maduro or whatever, so that a proper government is reinstated in that country to ensure the so-called Western democracy is advanced in the interest of the good people of Venezuela. And once again, I want to commend our Foreign Affairs Minister, Honorable Sam Okudzeto-Ablakwa, and the government, President Mahama, and especially the New Year message that was read by the President. If you look at all of this, it tells that we are a country now that is very focused. This is truly Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana, and there's no shyness about it, and we must be strict and objective in what we put out as our position.
Very well.
And some few things. The country, Venezuela, has no leadership. There's a division. Some said the vice president should take over. Some are saying the man who is claimed to have won the election and was stolen should take over. So there's a power vacuum. So obviously now America is now in control of the country.
Exactly. No, the vice president has been sworn in.
And then
Delcy Ray, she's been sworn in. The
yes, no, but the opposition people who believe they can't want to disagree. That's what I'm saying. That divide is not solved yet. And people talk about international law. See, most of the time we talk about that, I smile. I say, who are the people who shape international law? Who are the people who write it? Who determine where international law goes? In fact, if you go back there, you say that all the international law, the majority are shaped by the same Westerners we think are not in our favor. So when we always shout who the man has breached who actually wrote that international law? Did they write it to favor you or did they write it to favor themselves? So you see, we need to really look at that question. Who wrote international law? Whose is it in favor of? Is it in favor of Ghana or is it in favor of America? That is a question sometimes. So when I hear we shout, America has breached international law, I don't know who wrote the international law. Do you determine when international law goes? They go to UN and said, this is what America said, it is final, and nobody is able to challenge. So we should be mindful of this idea of international law.
Very well. Ibrahim, despite reports of $240 million loss, Gold Board insists, or HCU insists, that such reports are false. He actually says it's illogical, and that they actually recorded some 960 million cedis in revenue and no losses. Quick thoughts on this?
Yeah, it depends on who's counting. And let me be very quick here, so my colleagues can also come in. The IMF, because I read it here, okay, and I'll be very direct. The IMF identifies three main leaks inside the finances, okay? It talks about pricing gaps. So it's the Bank of Ghana that provides the finances to Gold Board, okay, in order to make sure that they can then purchase the gold. Now, what is happening is this. Per Gold Board's own operations, it is not making a loss. Its costs, its operating costs is about 120 million cedis. Revenue is 960 million cedis. If you do the math, it's in profit. But who is paying for the profit that he's enjoying? It's the Bank of Ghana. Because of the FX changes, because Ghana, I listened to him on Newsfile, okay, in terms of the foreign exchange disparities, because the government is buying through Gold Board and its aggregator, buying at spot price to make sure that, again, there's no financial incentive for the artisanal miners to smuggle or sell the gold to third parties, other as prescribed in the law to Gold Board. And so when you do that, and the exchange rate as, let's say, 12.10 today, and then it goes up to 12.3, 12.4, 12.5 tomorrow, you as Bank of Ghana are at a loss. Because the exchange rate has changed, depreciated. And so you're having a loss then. So that's where the IMF said that given these factors, there is indeed a loss. Why is there a loss? Because there is a cost. But the cost here is being borne by the Bank of Ghana, not Gold Board as itself as an entity. And so that's where the issue is. It depends on which accounting books you want to refer to. If we were to make sure that the Gold Board is responsible for all the operating costs, then you can say that yes, the IMF is right. But the reality is that no, it is an agency of the Bank of Ghana, but the Bank of Ghana is a state. Gold Board is part of that same super state or ecosystem. And if we want to somehow split hairs, that's where you have the division. Ask yourself, as Ghana, Ghana made a profit or a loss on the operations since April of this year, then you'll get a different answer. And that's the answer that the IMF is giving. But as a Gold Board on its own, per its own accounts, what it spent and what it generated in terms of receipts, okay, the assaying fees and the licensing fees and what have you, then it has made a profit. That's where we are.
Right, right. Elikem, who should account for these losses? Because clearly, per the structure of the Gold Board, losses will be made based on CD dollar conversions for the purchase of gold.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
When there's a drop in the price?
Yes, but you see, let's assume, let me just give this basic analogy. I have given Ibra 2 cities to go and trade. And Ibra goes to buy this water and sells it for maybe 2.5 or 3 or 4. Do you consider a loss to him, or because you feel that 2 cities need to be accounted for by me, that also makes it a loss? These are overrun costs. But you see, I am happy.
On what terms did you give Ibra the 2 cities? And should the 2 cities come back to you? And is it coming back to you with a return on investment?
No, but don't forget that the BOG is running as a state. We cannot take away the fact that it is the monopolistic central bank.
Right.
That is to support agencies in order to eschew something. For instance, like he said, to avoid the artisanal miners from going back door, smuggling and all of that. There are some challenges to some of these things. And so the fact that you and I even know that in spite of the stability of the Forex as we speak for the past 1 year, there has still been very minute fluctuations. And considering the volume we are talking about, there may be some little challenges here and there. Now, there's just, I take some strong consolation in what even the Bank of Ghana has issued in their own statement, that let people be restrained. At the right time, the Bank of Ghana will not shy away in any way from trying to declare a loss or any negative effect to them when their audited report comes out, maybe either late this month or next month. Then you can tell confidently. Because mind you, this whole conversation was generated on, based on some kind of speculation. Not that anybody's been, and even like Ibra said, when you go through the IMF documentation, IMF never make mention of a loss by the Gold Board. It's only saying that based on ABCD, we suspect some exposures. And so based on that, these are the exposures that are likely. And so if these are what is likely, the BOG is also telling you, look, just have restraint. The right things will definitely be done at the right time, which we all know. So when that is done, it will be ascertained whether A is right or B is wrong, or what you are saying has been the case. I only feel disappointed in the manner in which, in fact, let me say, I want to commend Ibra for how he went about it, which tells me the objectivity in what he's putting out as his submission in regards to this. Some have seen certain things of this nature to just be a political razzmatazz, to kind of find an avenue to soil government that, oh, in the whole, yes, because many have also said that a whole year is almost ending at the time this conversation began, and there's not been a single scandal, etc. So let's find something to say and all of that. And you could tell that the very straws they were lashing on to could not hold. And therefore, this was not any basis. And at a point, it was about a 214 loss. Then it shifted to the aggregator. Then it shifted to the relationship and all of that. And I think Ghanaian politics has moved away from that. The last thing I would want to say is maybe today, that the way some people within the NPP, and especially some of the young people, put out matters out there, they may think it is making them champions of whatever, but they are making their party very unattractive. Very unattractive. In the sense that the Ghanaian who voted a year ago has not forgotten the reasons why he voted for John Mahama and the NDC. Without any research, I can tell here that even as we speak, you can't rule out the fact that President Mahama's rating, approval ratings, may still be on the same maintained level or even higher, considering the success is short. And no government comes to power and you expect that within a year, it should have been able to succeed in implementing all its manifesto promises. Then what happens to the second year, the third year? But things being rolled out bit by bit. And again, in the president's submission, there's only one Ghana we have. It is a Ghana for all of us. It's not an NDC Ghana or an NPP Ghana. And I have always maintained this, and I'm sure I've said this on this platform, he and I again together before. Because when you go to the pump and you're buying petrol, they don't ask whether you are NDC or NPP before they sell the petrol to you. So today, as petrol is 10.56 or so at the pump at some places, it is good for all of us.
Very well.
If inflation is at 6% today, single digit, it's good for you and I.
Right.
If the dollar is almost coming to, the city is hitting stronger potency against the dollar to also go to a single digit, it is all for us. So this is what we all need to be looking at. Nobody is also saying that do not put government on its toes, do not raise eyebrows where you have suspicions. But don't make suspicions look like facts that you are basing everything on. It becomes a bubble.
Right, very well. Elvis, I mean, a loss, whether trade-related or transactional, is a loss. But then again, you can understand why the Gold Board would not want to acknowledge these losses because of the intermediate role it plays between the Bank of Ghana and the aggregators, where the Bank of Ghana ultimately receives proceeds of gold sold in dollars. So why should the Gold Board take responsibility or acknowledge these losses as losses based on it or as its own losses?
Well, the discussion has confused so many people. I have read the Bank of Ghana, the IMF report. Page 23 of the IMF report. This is what it says. The aspect that is the discussion, this is what it says. It says the now discontinued gold for oil component of the DGPP, Domestic Gold Purchase Program, generated losses of $128 million, representing 0.15% of GDP in 2024. And that also represents 30% of which emanated solely from the sale of $800 million of gold. That is 2024. Then it goes on to say, in 2025 through quarter 3, that is January to September, losses from the artisanal and small-scale gold transactions component of the gold for reserves reached $214 million, representing 0.2% of GDP. Where are the losses coming from? Mostly on trading losses, but also on Gold Board off-taker fees. This is what they've written word for word in the IMF report. This is where Gold Board was mentioned. So Gold Board was mentioned in the IMF report that as part of the losses that the IMF is talking about, the off-taker fees that is paid by Gold Board is responsible in addition to trading losses. These are the two factors the IMF put together as the causes of the losses. This is why people were attacking Gold Board, because the IMF is the one that mentioned Gold Board. Nobody invented Gold Board from anywhere. So if you put the 2 years together, Ghana has lost $342 million from gold-related trades. The IMF in their report indicated the components of the gold business. It talks about trading costs. It talks about off-taking discount. It talks about assaying charges and service charges. So these are the costs related to the gold trade. Okay. The IMF says these figures were arrived at by the Ghanaian authorities and IMF staff calculations. So IMF didn't even put out the figure alone. They said they start with the central bank and did the calculation, and they came up to these losses. The reason it has become political, and I always say that when we take politics out of things, we are better off, is that when the NDC assumed office and NPP made this loss from the gold for oil, they took on the NPP And the central bank then that they made losses for the country by trading gold for oil. So the NPP also sees that, oh, the people who came to attack us for making 128 million losses, in 9 months they have made $240 million losses. So we also not keep quiet, we also have to attack them. So you see, it is a more of politics. But the reason I say it's more of politics is that the central bank was clear in its mind in this gold for trade business, but they were looking for economic benefits of the trade. The current deputy governor of the central bank, Dr. Zakaria Mumuni, on August 6th in London, spoke at a meeting of African central banks, okay? And this is what he said about the gold program the central bank was doing. He said the central bank had purchased 145.95 tons of gold as of June 2025. As of June 2025, since the previous government started to June 2025 last year, Ghana has purchased, the central has 145.95 tons of gold. Out of that, 86.77 tons have been sold for forex to bolster reserves. So this is not the first time we are selling gold to support forex to bolster reserves. 86.77 tons was sold. The bank's physical gold holdings have also increased from 32.99 tons from 8.7 tons when the program started. It said 27.6 tons of the gold was utilized in the settlement of 1.95 million metric tons of petroleum products under the Gold for Oil initiative. Since the inception of the DGPP and as of June 2025. Right. Listen to this statement. This is very important.
Briefly, we need to go.
It says on all accounts, the DGPP has impacted positively with strong reserves accumulation, stability in the exchange rate, and easing inflation. These have helped improve the country's credit profile from restrictive default to B- with a stable outlook in June 2025, boosting investor confidence. All these developments have contributed to a stable microeconomic environment. This is the Deputy Governor of Central Bank speaking on August 6th in London, 2025. So you see, the Central Bank was not looking at whether they are going to make profit or losses. They are looking at how the thing is going to help forex to be stable, support the economy, make sure that the pressure on the local currency is reduced, which will automatically affect oil prices and the rest. So when you talk about the losses, if the NDC and people had not politicized or talk about politics, I believe that the opportunity cost, now there are new arguments of opportunity cost, that even though if we made losses, it has impacted the economy positively. This will be the argument we are making. It's our goal. We are buying and selling. We think that buying and selling and bringing forward
it's helping the economy.
It's helping the economy. But when the NDC assume power and they attack NPP for making losses under the goal for oil, NPP also says that you in just 9 months you are made 214. So then let's also do politics and also attack you. Because the IMF report mentions gold board off-taker fees, that is why they are going after gold board. But the question is, why go after gold board when you know that it is opportunity cost? The BOG statement, if you ask me, they shouldn't have issued it at all. Because in the statement they admitted that indeed there are challenges with the program.
Elvis, our time is up. Our time is up. We need to leave it here.
To do something about it.
We need to leave it here. But thank you. Thank you, Elvis. Thank you, Alikem. Thank you, Ibrahim. I was hoping we could touch on the passing of the Ayawaso East MP briefly, but unfortunately we've run out of time. Maybe just a word of condolence to the family.
Definitely. I know Honorable Ture very well, and our condolences to him and his family. May Allah grant him Jannatul Firdaus.
Alikem.
Yeah, it's a blow to the government and to the people of Ghana. And I had that yesterday with mixed feelings. I felt so sad. But we can always never question the authority of our Maker, the Almighty. And we wish the family peace and that tranquility in these trying times. May the Almighty grant him eternal peace.
Very well. Elvis.
Condolences to the family. The Bible says once we are born, we know that one day we'll die. So death is an eventuality. But my only problem I always say is that somebody is dead. Sometimes the family has not even heard. But then the media is in a hurry to announce somebody's death. I find it very difficult, and I still find it difficult. Let's give families that time to actually mourn their death than for media start to be the first to announce somebody's death. I'm always uncomfortable. Let's look, Master, when you lose somebody close to you, then you know how it is. And assuming you're sitting back and the person you've lost, probably you have not even heard, and it is on TV or radio that you've heard that your close relative has passed before the information, official information gets to you. There's a reason why in tradition, when somebody dies, and even you are sent as an envoy to go and announce it, when you get to the place, you want to wait and make sure that everybody has eaten, everybody is in a state of mind that when announcement is made, somebody does not faint. So please, the media, I appeal to all of us. Let's be a little restrictive. Let's wait for the family to issue a statement and let's put it out there.
Very well. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you to you for your time and, of course, your messages. This has been the News Review segment here on Breakfast Daily. But please don't go away. The show continues after this.
Oh, another payment through Stanbic. Smooth, as always.
Imagine making or collecting all payments without leaving your chair. Sounds like magic, right? Nah, it's Stanbic Pay.
Darling, can you please help with the bills, especially address school fees?
From school fees to utilities, the government and statutory payments to investments, insurance payments, Hajj payments, and more.
Mommy, my fees has been paid.
Just log on to Stanbic Pay and you're set for life.
Please tell me everything has been paid.
No Stanbic account, no queues, no stress, no last-minute panic.
Cherish your time and live happier in safety and convenience. Visit stanbicbank.com.gh or call to get started.
Verna is clean, fresh and safe. I'm holding my Verna bottle. No plastic seal, no worries. Open and hear the sound like click. That sound means it's fresh, no trick. No plastic seal, but it's still pure. Cool and clean, you can be sure. Verna leads the brighter way. What takes my doubt away? If it clicks, it's Verna. If it clicks, it's clean. Sip it, feel the difference. Verna water, pure and green. Click, open, sip. Click, open, sip. Chalet Verna, no stress, just sip. Stress, just sip.
This advert is FDA approved.
The festive season can be chaotic and demanding, with everyone and everything vying for your attention.
My dear friend, you are most welcome to Lifeline. This is where we have very difficult conversations that people run away from into it.
Yeah.
How do we deal with the stresses that comes?
December definitely becomes a very stressful time of the year. It's pulling you, your family's pulling you, the finances are pulling you. So financially, yes, but also your energy. You realize that you're being pulled by everyone. Everyone has expectations of you, and you don't have the energy to make everybody happy.
This week, join Bishop Fred Crunchy-Mensah and his guest as they tackle managing holiday stress and overwhelm on Lifeline. Make it 8. Lifeline airs every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. sharp, only on Channel 1 TV.
10 years of unforgettable memories breathtaking sights, unlimited excitement, new friendships. And this March, we're turning it all the way up. From the 1st to the 8th of March 2026, get ready for the road trip of a lifetime. 8 epic days, 14 regions, 1 legendary caravan. We roll from Greater Accra through the Eastern region, cruise into the Northern and Upper East regions, vibe through the Western region, and hit many more iconic destinations across Ghana. It's culture, it's adventure, it's pure discovery with the best people and the best vibes. Expect non-stop fun, endless scenic views, deep cultural immersion, new networks, and friendships and memories that will outlive the journey. Seats are limited, and this is the 10th anniversary. You cannot miss it. Watch out for details soon.
We're grateful that you stayed with us here on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. That was Nana Tufo Boateng and his guests talking about a number of things. But we continue from where he left off. I am Philip Nilate, and it's going to be an exciting one from now to 11 a.m. when I'll say bye-bye to you. But it's a new year, and I'm sure that since it's a new year, there are a number of things you'd want to do, one of which is the downloading of the Channel 1 News app, which you should have on your phone by now, because this year, certainly there will be a number of stories that we will be putting across on our portals, be it the channel1news.com, online.com, be it citynewsroom.com, be it our Facebook portals, or probably on our Instagram or social media portals. And definitely you have to get the information available and quick on your phone. So download the Channel 1 News app, which is very important. It's a new year, and you have no option than to do this, which will definitely help you to be able to be informed in whatever activity you do this year. So this is what I'm giving you as a New Year gift as we start the week, because today happens to be the first day of the year that everyone maybe will be in office. You know, last week a lot of people were home. It was a relaxing moment and all that, but now we are getting into it thick and fast. It's going to be a busy year, so you'd want to get the information that you need on your phone every now and then. So go to the Google Play Store, download the Channel 1 News app, or go to the App Store and download the Channel 1 News app. It's not difficult. It's just an easy process that you would go through just to get these apps on your phones and be able to get the information that we'll be sharing with you here on set. We have a number of things that we'll be sharing with you here on set today, so you'd want to stay with us from now to 11 a.m. like I stated earlier. Let's enter into the trends. And Venezuela has been in the trends for quite some time, from Saturday through to today. Nana Tufo and his guest made mention of what is happening in the country and what the U.S. government has done. Just a little update of what has really transpired there is when the U.S. government says that it will run Venezuela until a safe, proper, and judicious transition can be assured. This is coming from the president of the U.S., that is Donald Trump, said after U.S. strike led to the capture of the country's president, that is President Maduro, that is Nicolas Maduro. So the U.S. oil companies will also fix Venezuela's broken infrastructure and start making money for the country. And this is coming from the U.S. president as well. He says the U.S. launched a strike on Venezuela Saturday that we all know morning, which Maduro and his wife, the First Lady, were captured by U.S. forces and removed from the country. Then there are some interesting updates we are seeing on X now. A list has come out from the chief of intelligence in Venezuela that some individuals in the U.S., that senators, are benefiting from the monies that the president of Venezuela has been giving to them in the way of bribe and all that. We didn't want to go in there, but you know what? On trends, we definitely give you what the general public is saying about a particular issue that is making waves. So let's bring you the comments of what people are making about it. But with that, it's just interesting that some of the things that we are seeing on social media, for instance, I saw the list that is trending, and in there is the Venezuela list, and it's on X. Some of the things that you can see there, for instance, have been indicated that finally did it. Twitter has changed the like button to celebrate Trump's success over Maduro. Venezuela list fake files leaked, and that is what I was talking about with the list that has come out. It's just interesting. Venezuela's list, I'm still watching for a particular name. That one too you can find on X. This one says that people are claiming that X has changed the like button to celebrate Trump's success over Nicolas Maduro, but this looks more like a viral rumor. Well, we've not yet verified that. This one that says that it was upon Venezuelans to free themselves from a tyrant, not a third party like Trump to invade it and colonize it. This is how British colonized countries too. They said, we are freeing you from barbarism. Okay, so you say when you go on X, you find interesting comments on the Venezuela issue and also the list that has come out. But away from Venezuela, let's bring you this rather sad one that happened in Nigeria before we come to what happened in Ghana just yesterday, and it has to do with Anthony Joshua. And Anthony Joshua mourns and breaks social media silencing accident. On 29th December 2025, Joshua was a passenger in Lexus SUV on Nigeria's Lagos-Ibadan Expressway when it swerved into a stationary vehicle, killing his 36-year-old training partner and also a friend. He escaped with minor injuries. So the driver of Anthony Joshua, or the driver who was in charge of the vehicle that day, faces charges of dangerous driving and lacking a license. I don't know how you'll be driving without license, amid reports of speeding, and also Joshua moving back to sit back beforehand. So Joshua was actually at the back seat, and that is actually what saved his life. So Joshua has gone back to the UK and joined Janaza prayers at London Central Mosque. His uncle has condemned, and this condemnation, I think I side with it, bystanders who allegedly stole his phone from the wreckage and filmed instead of helping when the unfortunate incident occurred. Well, we also saw other people too helped Anthony Joshua on that day. But this is a very sad one. He's returned to the UK, and you can see him there when he went to the UK. But we have comments on this quickly that we will share with you. Comment on Anthony Joshua's issue and the fact that he's returned to the UK. I can't imagine what he's thinking, because I understand that the two individuals were good friends of his. And this one said, may God give you and the entire household the fortitude to bear the irreplaceable loss. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Stay strong, brother. This is very important. I pity who chop your punch next. Okay, I wouldn't want to. No, punch. This one is we are mourning. We wouldn't really want to. Stay strong, and may the souls of your friends find rest in the Lord, which is very, very important. And also, this one talks about the grief and says that grief is heavy indeed. I don't think Anthony Joshua has registered everything that happened yet. Yeah, it may happen as a shock and you still be in the state of denial. Stay strong, Anthony Joshua. We love you and we stand with you today and forever. Very important there. It's going to be hard, but you definitely pull through. Very important. Okay, so that is it for Anthony Joshua's issue. Back here in Ghana, there's a rather sad one. The MP for Ayawasu East, Mahama Toure, passed on yesterday. We understand yesterday in the morning. And his remains were taken to his residence in Nima. You know, he is the Member of Parliament for Ayawasu East. This rather is a very shock one that actually shocked a lot of people and took the National Democratic Congress or all other individuals within the political space aback, and they were actually shocked. I personally saw some messages on the status of some members of Parliament, and you could tell how devastating they were, or devastated they were, as they heard the news of the demise of Mahama Toure. And this is a very sad one. So his remains arrived at his Nima residence with burial set per Muslim tradition, as condolences flowed to his family and constituents ahead of a potential by-election. Well, we are not entering into the discussion of by-election yet because Parliament now is on recess. So we will be keeping our eyes keenly on this story, but we also understand that there will be an event that will be held today at his residence. We'll be keeping our eyes on that here on Channel 1 TV, and we'll bring you all the updates of that one concerning the demise of the Ayawasu East Member of Parliament, Mahama Toure. But if you have comment on that, people, the condolences are pouring in thick and fast, and this one said, as such is life. In a way, we all have to prepare our exit from earth. Rest in peace. This is a sad one. The only MP who won with over 85% votes, may Allah grant him Junatwal Fidoros. Okay, I'm sure I mentioned it right. Another series of fights in by-election. Well, let's see how that one is going to go in the coming days. I like how Ghanaians have sympathy for politicians now. It was difficult when John Kuma died. Rest in peace, Honorable. Or you say it was different, rather. My condolences to his immediate family and the NDC fraternity. May his soul rest in perfect peace, you say. This is sad, Charlie. We can't start again this year. Sad, yeah. We don't know why we are starting again this year with the demise of a Member of Parliament. But all we can say is, may his soul rest in perfect peace. And we wish, or we actually send our condolences to the bereaved family, the immediate family, and the extended family as well. But like I indicated earlier, we will keep our eyes on activities at his Neiman residence or wherever it is, and also the party and also the constituency, and bring you what the event will be, and also reactions from his constituents or his immediate family or friends or the National Democratic Congress following the demise of the Ayawasu East Member of Parliament. So these are some of the stories making waves on social media X. There is also another big one, that is the Kaswa Market fire that happened yesterday, but we'll be delving into it deeper later on the show. We'll be visiting the grounds to bring you action that is happening a day after the incident happened. Some traders, we understand, are counting their losses and the impact that happened there. We also understand that the Ghana National Fire Service officers are still there dousing the flame, among other things. But we'll be giving you all the actions that is happening there at the Kaswa New Market that fire gutted the place yesterday. And definitely, you would want to stay with us here on Breakfast Daily, Channel 1 TV. Let's bring you the video of the day. So the woman really go there to buy a laptop, flexible screen or flexible laptop, and I'm sure she didn't know that the one that she picked wasn't same, and she has actually caused some financial losses there, and the individual who may have brought her there had to run away. You can't come and give me cost this early morning or whatever the period of the time or the day was that you want to be giving me pressure and all that. So this is an interesting one. Maybe this year you should just be careful. Some of the places you'll be going to and some of the things, if you really don't know much about the thing, really don't touch it. Don't touch it. It's just as caution to people who you don't have better idea about a particular product or a particular item and you end up destroying it. Well, this is what we are bringing you. This is the video of the day. But we told you that we will be taking you to Kasoa and bring you the issue of the fire situation that happened yesterday. We'll be taking you there shortly. But let's bring you this musical interlude. Tomiwa, he will serenade us. Later, we'll go to Kasoa. So stay with us. We'll be back after this.
Blinded by city lights, so show me the stars tonight. Ah, 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 somewhere only we go. So So where only we go. Yeah. Good morning. Yeah, my name is Tommy Wa, and I'm just gonna play another song for you guys. This one is called God Loves When You're Dancing. Yeah. Enjoy. Smile a bit, my darling. I know it hurts more than a little. Don't shy away from me, cause it shows all the pain you buried inside. I can feel there's some things words cannot describe. Like when you move without moving, I bet it's divine. God loves when you're dancing, so dance some more. God loves when you're dancing, so dance some more. Drawing close, let us sink in. I'm absorbed in your rhythm. 1, 2, 1, 2, always some beats. You must have been born with 2 right fits. I'm looking for something concrete. You must have been born with 2 right fits. God loves when you dancing, so there's some more. God loves when you dancing, you should dance some more, so there's some more. Yeah, you know God loves when you dance, there's some more. Yeah, you know God loves when you dance. I tell you, laughing berry, Ijo, yeah. I tell you, laughing berry, Ijo, yeah. What I miss is my mother tongue. You first clap before you dance. Yeah. I tell you, laughing berry. God loves when you dancing, so there's some more. God loves when you dancing, you should learn some more. So dancing love, so dancing joy, so dancing gladness, so dancing faith, so dance with goodness, so dance with kindness, so dance with joy, so dance with peace, can you dance in love, can you dance in joy, can you dance in gladness, can you dance with faith, can you dance like water, can you dance like fire, can you dance with laughter, can you dance some more? Yeah, 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 yeah. There's some more. There's some more. You know God loves when you dance. When the Spirit of the Lord comes upon my soul, I will dance like David danced. Oh, and the Spirit of the Lord comes upon my soul, I will dance like David danced. God
That was Tommy Wather. That was an interesting one. And before we went with Tommy Wather to serenade us, we made mention of the fact that we'll be taking it to Kaswa, where the fire incident happened yesterday. So it's just a backstory to what happened yesterday. So fire outbreak had swept through part of the Kaswa New Market, prompting an emergency response from the Ghana National Fire Service. There was a statement that was issued on Facebook yesterday by the Ghana National Fire Service, and the personnel from Kaswa Fire Station and the Wager Fire Station were immediately deployed to the scene to contain the blaze. And also, the service further disclosed that all available fire tenders and water pumps from Accra were dispatched to the area to support ongoing firefighting efforts as firefighters battle the inferno to bring the situation under control. As of the latest updates that the Ghana National Fire Service got yesterday, firefighting operations were ongoing, which we also understand that is still ongoing actually. The officers working to prevent the blaze from spreading to other parts of the market, that is a busy market. The cause of the fire and the full extent of the damage remains unknown, while residents and traders have been urged to stay clear of the area to allow emergency team to work safely. And this is actually the statement that came from the Ghana National Fire Service yesterday. It's just interesting that as we are starting a new year, this is actually what we are seeing in a market like this, and this is so sad. We'll be taking you live to the area and we're bringing you updates what is happening there, what the traders are doing currently, and also what really the authorities are supposed to do about it. We understand that the Ghana National Fire Service personnel are still there in the area to still douse the flame, which we understand is still blazing. But let's take you to the area. My colleague, the Central Regional Correspondent here at Channel 1 TV and CTFM, Akwesi Ado, is joining us live to bring you updates of what is happening at the place. Akwesi, good morning.
Should call back.
Okay, so we are still connecting with Akwesi to get you updates of what is happening at the Kaswa New Market following the inferno or the fire outbreak that swept through parts of the market yesterday. It's actually a big blow to a number of the traders there. This is where they go to make their or to get their ends meet, or to also get a little money they can use to run their day-to-day activities and cater for their family. But we are establishing contact again with my colleague, who is a Central Regional Correspondent, Akwesi Ado, who has been monitoring events there and what is happening. Akwesi, good morning.
Good morning, Philip.
I trust you are doing well. Take us through what happened yesterday exactly at the New Market. We have seen videos. We have seen what is we've been told by the fire service. But you're on the grounds. What really happened there, and how many structures were affected by the inferno?
Thank you very much, Philip. It's not so happy the beginning of a year for the traders here in the Kaswa New Market, because yesterday around 1 p.m. a fire gutted a section of the Kaswa New Market, and as we speak now we have over 160 container stores that have been razed down by fire completely. The quantities of items that have been destroyed by the fire is very huge, and the traders here are very much devastated because they've really incurred huge losses. We've been asking around, and what we're hearing is that there is a meter that reportedly blasted, and then it caught fire. And while the traders attempted to douse the fire from its initial stages, they made several attempts to reach out to the Ghana National Fire Service, but there were some delays, and by the time the team arrived here, the fire had really gotten a bit intense. So firefighters spent several hours trying to bring the fire under control. It was at around midnight when they were able to completely douse the fire. And that was done by the help of some of the traders here, as well as some other persons who also ply their trade here in the market. This section of the Kausua New Market is where vegetable oil, red oil or palm oil, and then other foodstuffs are being sold. And it is not the first time we're witnessing such an incident here at this section of the market. 2 years ago in January, we had a similar incident occurring here in the market, and several traders lost their wares. And then yesterday also, we had this particular incident also happening here, claiming several properties and belongings of traders here in the Kausua New Market. As we speak with you now, officials are still putting together the actual number of traders who have been affected, as well as the actual amount of the wares that have been destroyed by the fire. We are hearing that the regional fire service commander is on her way to this point. We are also hearing that other officials, including the Central Regional Minister, Eduam Wachriako Penny, are all making their way here just so they may be able to mitigate the situation and also look at measures to be put in place to ensure that the plight of these affected traders is being mitigated at this point in time, because certainly they should be extremely worried as a result of what has actually happened. So if you can see through our cameras, this is the level of devastation here in the Kausua New Market. These are container stores. They are built with concrete foundations, and then the containers are built on top. And then these have been brought to the ground as a result of the fire incident that occurred here yesterday. As you can see, there are still some level of smoke emitting from the remains of the items that were in these shops. So you can see this particular shop dealt in hair and then wigs, and they've all been burnt. There are others that were dealing in food items, spices, and then others that have also been completely destroyed by the fire. So it's really, really a very difficult moment for traders here in the Kausua New Market, Philip.
So, Akwesi, from what you've indicated, I'm not sure any trader was able to pick, say, an item or salvage any of the items. Is that a impression I'm getting? Is that it?
Philip, where you are seeing right now in our shop, in our shots, is the later part of the entire section where the fire gutted. So around this point, the traders who had their wares here were able to salvage only a little of their wares, but a larger portion of their wares have all been consumed by the fire. And getting into dusk at around 6 and 7 p.m., the lighting system here was very poor. There was pitch darkness, and so it was even difficult for people to move about. And remember, I mentioned earlier that this section of the market dealt with vegetable oil and red oil. So they were all mixed with the water, and so the grounds became very slippery, and so it was even difficult for people to move about freely. Imagine carrying some loads of sacks on your head, carrying refrigerator, and then trying to move about in this area, which was very slippery. So it was really a very difficult moment for them. There were only a little items that could be saved from this disaster, Philip.
You indicated that the Ghana National Fire Service officials are there to continue their work. If you can let us see them in the shot, one, and also has the situation been brought under total control that we wouldn't see any spark happening anytime soon?
So personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service were here in the early mornings, but as I speak with you now, they are no longer here, except that we have the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, who are here, and I would want to be speaking to this lady who speaks for the Awutu Senya East NADMO Directorate. So good morning, madam. This is Channel 1 TV. Please, your name?
Christiano Usuchire.
Okay. So bring us to the fore. What actually happened here yesterday, per your own assessment, and I mean the NADMO?
Okay, we just had the information on our platform. Our director called that we should all make it to this place. So I think the information got to my director very early. He came here first, and he was the person that called the fire service. And yesterday it was so fantastic that everybody was helping. The police did their work. Our MP was here now. She did very well yesterday. Not more people didn't sleep. We were here from 4 o'clock till this morning. We just went home to bath and come back. So this is what happened. And the worst part is, whilst the fire was burning, some men were breaking other stores just to steal. So our director called the police for help. They came and did their work perfect.
So have we been able to identify these looters?
No. Some just ran away when they saw the police. So right now, we've been able to calm everything down. We just want to get information from the people that has been affected, that's all.
Does that mean there was no arrest?
No, please.
Okay. So have we been able to put together the actual number of containers or stores that have been destroyed by the fire?
Yes, so far we've recorded 165 shares.
165
65,
shares.
yes,
Okay.
165.
And how about the traders? How many have been affected?
They are yet to report. They are yet. We are still taking the information from them.
So what specific items were in these shops, because you have been able to enter into the disaster scene proper?
Okay, some sell local things, detergents, food items, clothes, a lot. A lot. As for this market, you know it's a big market, so there's a lot here that has been destroyed, yes. As you can see, a lot has been destroyed, and it's so bad.
In the evening, when the disaster was still happening, and while the fire service personnel were trying to bring matters under control, there are some persons who told us that the fire service delayed in responding to the disaster. Does the NADMO have that information, and what was the cause of that delay, if it actually did occur?
Okay, we had the information. They delayed all right, but the people around helped. Everybody was fire service here. People were throwing sand, water. People will even go and take somebody's pure water that the person is selling, just come and pour it on the fire. So we all did well, both police, fire, NADMO, and then our MP. Yes.
Did we record any injury?
We just saw some this morning. We've seen 2 people that has been seriously hurt. Okay. Yeah.
And what are we doing about them?
Okay, we've asked them to go to the office at this side. So we will take the information and send them to the hospital right now. Okay.
So, this is the Kasua New Market, a very big establishment. But yesterday, I personally saw the personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service driving to as far as Coca-Cola. That is about 1 kilometer or 2 away from the market, to draw water because there is no fire hydrant in the market establishment. Is the NADMO aware of this?
Yes, we are aware. But we are working on things soon. We will make sure we get fire service closer to this place, because when it's market day, the place is very choked. If disaster happens, I don't think there will be a car that can drive through the market, but we are still working on it. Okay. We will make sure such thing will not happen again.
While you pledge that measures are being laid to ensure that accesses are being created here in the market, we do know that this is not the first time we're witnessing a fire incident, particularly around this section of the market. And I do recall that some measures were put in place, like fire extinguishers were installed and all that.
The time the fire started, fire extinguishers were there, but that moment the office was closed. Honestly, yes, the moment they opened the office, the fire service was here, so there was no need for us to apply the extinguishers.
So, if I understand you clearly, fire extinguishers have been provided, but they are stuck in the office.
Not stuck, but the time yesterday it happened, it was Sunday, and Sunday too is not working hours. So they had to rush to this place and open the office. And whilst they were bringing the fire extinguisher, like the fire service people were already here doing their work. So we shouldn't interfere with those. Yes.
Okay, so it's early yet. But what are some of the measures we're trying to put in place? I mean, concrete measures.
So what we're going to do is we will make sure some of the women are having access to the fire extinguisher, so that whenever any disaster happens again, they themselves will do something before the fire people comes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Please, your name again.
Christiano Usutre.
Okay, so Christiano Usutre speaks for the Autu Senya East National Disaster Management Organization, speaking to us here. So she's mentioned some of the interventions that are being laid to ensure that we do not record any such incident in the future. Just arriving to the scene here is the Member of Parliament for the Autu Senya East constituency, Phyllis Nakoyo Okuno. Yesterday in the night she was here, and this morning she's also here to speak to some of the affected traders of the disaster. I can see this woman who appears to be very dejected, and she is also affected as a result of the disaster. Let's try and then engage her. Mommy, Pacho Channel 1 TV soon within the site.
Pacho me Joyce Afedi.
Pacho Kasaka Seka.
Me Joyce Afedi.
Enti Ejan Endra time I toy and now we market and now.
Pacho Brown mo flem na mbedu na me yoma na yashi deda. Nti ma metu bibia wa petane mu.
Na niam abesa na now.
Pacho me fa gal me ton boto.
Ti wo hwa e ka be sesen na wabo.
The aka ho na 15 bags ni na ahye. Ba ko 1,005.
Bag back could be 1,005. And now we're 15 bags.
Okay.
And this is your Mwabena over here.
Actually, what me and say hello, and obi musu be free me be. Me tona me tia. Says can I ash in human ashin in a media. One more jiska me nibi to Miss Ramon Boami. It's a echo what you're true. I have a taddy anyway. No, I must say, on the Panama rest this up a ton one in channel. Me high up a ton one in channel already say. Miss Uncle Chia, Saskano, oh, Hoansana, Omwashem, intimate, yes, Askana dear. You miss when this can be on your manash and a can of a dome of our to Miss Ramon Wine.
Okay, so this is one of the affected traders speaking to us. Let us now engage the Member of Parliament for the Autu Senya East constituency, Phyllis Nakoyo Okuno, to find out some of the measures the authorities intend to put in place to address some of these concerns that are being raised by the traders. Madam, good morning. This is Channel 1 News.
Good morning to you, your lovely viewers and listeners.
So, your initial reaction to this incident?
It's an unfortunate incident, and I don't wish this for anybody. I sympathize with the traders and the women here, and we'll see how best we can support them. It hasn't been easy since yesterday, and I know that the women or the affected victims are devastated, but what can we say now? It has already happened. I think there are lessons to be learned from this, and we'll make sure that things are being done rightfully.
People have lost their wares. Most of these traders rely on loans. What are we doing for them?
The government will be there to support. Myself as the MP, I'll be there to support them. But the unfortunate thing is, if they had taken a loan for, let's say, 2 billion. One person has a loan of 2 billion to buy things. I cannot provide 2 billion for that one person. It is a lot of people, so we can only meet them halfway. We are there to support them. I know that it's a very difficult moment for all of us, not just for them, because it also affects me as the MP. So we'll be there to support them halfway through their journey, at least something small to cushion them so that they can start life all over again.
It is not the first time we're having a fire incident here in the new market, particularly this section where we have container stores. With the administration of the market, I know it's early days yet, but what do we intend to do to ensure that the market is properly managed?
Last night I was here with some stakeholders, the security experts, the NADMO, and the fire service were here, and we identified some few lapses. So in construction of the market, I know that there are pathways, there are driveways and all that. When we got here, it was even difficult for the fire tenders to even access certain roads for them to quench the fire. We had to break into certain places, break in certain stores, and then break down other places so that they can even go through. I think going forward, in construction of a market or markets of this sort, there should be driveways, and if there are provision for driveways, there shouldn't be stalls built in the driveways. We should have these things open up so that we can have access when there is an emergency. I'm sure if the driveway was opened, there wouldn't be, the fire wouldn't have been that serious. It would have been quenched long before it would have gotten to the stage. So going forward, we are going to make sure that we enforce very stringent measures, and together with the town planning and engineers, so that all these things would be the things of the past. It wouldn't reoccur again.
So access is one aspect of the whole issue, but then also there is no single water hydrant in the market establishment. Firefighters had to struggle and commute to longer distances to draw water. Are we aware of this situation, that there's no hydrant in the market, and what are we doing about it as a matter of urgency?
So yes, my attention was drawn to this last night as well, and then after this incident, we'll be speaking to the stakeholders to make sure that we get some fire hydrants in certain strategic places of the market. Already there are plans to set up a fire station in the markets. We've already planned to do that, a fire station and a police point in the market. So bringing the fire station, we'll be able to identify which areas that we can erect the hydrant so that it would be fast when such incidences occur.
Thank you very much. So this was the Member of Parliament for the Otusenya East constituency, Felix Nakoyo Okuno, speaking to us here. But we have the Municipal NADMO Director here. We can still see some pockets of smoke emitting from the disaster scene. But then also, we're still seeing some traders, women, who are there trying to salvage just a few items from the disaster. This is risky. NADMO, what are we doing to ensure post-disaster safety of the traders here?
I think, thank you so much, Channel One. I think we need to educate the people. They need much more education. So going forward, we don't experience such incidents again. Currently, myself and my staffs are here, and we are making sure, because any item that has been touched with this fire is an hazard. They don't need to consume it. So myself and my staffs will make sure we stop them from picking those things and take it to the dumping site.
So when do we intend to do that? Because I can still see people.
Yes, I have ordered. I have ordered for the our machine. That's the dozer. How do you call it? The backhoe, for them to come. So we bring everything down, and pack them to the dumping site.
So after pulling everything down, what becomes of this place?
Yes, we have leaders. Our MC, our MP herself is here, and I think the planning committee at the Assembly too have been here this morning, and I know very soon very soon everything will be fine. That's what I will say for now.
Typically, traders may want to come back early and then reconstruct their sheds or containers. Are we going to allow that, or we are going to hold that until proper arrangements are made?
Yes, I think so. We have to hold on that. So when everything is in place, they can come back and sell. Because in fact, here is totally down, and it's not advisable for any of the sellers to come to their sheds and sell. We need to fix there for them before. So we are in it. Currently, you know, we are stakeholders and we need to come together. And I don't want to decide alone. So going forward, whatever updates, we will give it to you so you can give it to your viewers.
So we get the impression that while the NADMO is trying to manage this situation, the market management is also trying to handle it in a different manner. Why are we having conflicting ideas at this point, and how do we intend to address that?
Yes, this is concerning the data, the number of people. You know, when such incidents happen, people try to also write their name whilst they don't even have anything in the market there. So I think there was a miscommunication somewhere, but currently everything is in order, which we are trying to get the accurate data to work with such people and then help them as a government.
Thank you very much. This is Nash Adams Nyande. He is the Otusenya East Municipal NADMO Director. He has mentioned that they are putting in place measures to ensure that they get accurate data to cover the affected traders. Now, let me also chip this in. This morning, a journalist who works with Class Media Group in the person of Samuel Ado has been assaulted by personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service. And we understand that there was an altercation that was ensuing between the firefighters and some traders here, as well as persons who had come to help deal with the disaster. And while he was filming, the personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service pounced on him and then brutalized him, and he is currently heading to the hospital for treatment. So these are remnants of some of the items that were destroyed by the fire, and this is what has become of this section of the Kaswa New Market. As you can see in your shot, these are still some traders who are here trying to clear the area, signifying that they may even want to come back to conduct business anytime soon, just as it's always happened. But some of these containers, or virtually all the containers here, appear unsafe. Some of them have been completely destroyed, and then the structural integrity of some of these containers are also questionable. Mama, Pacho, what's your shop?
Me Pacho,
any of my best Anna now.
Me Tom books, general goods near my battery. Just any of my general goods here to Tom Bibia. I'm a shade job, or Chani, we can be saved. And they say a frame and I journey say a harness, me buy a man for pin, me be beer, man for pin.
And the time now, Janet, tour market, now, or Hannah,
Nam will fear. Best and nine, my sister frame, Timeba no Simmons, and no more in a coffee. Tiahumachina, me buy me better soon be beer, she man for pin, a woman.
Oh, Betty me, a Wabwa, Wakana, Wabonwano, William Nedodo.
I just say metenacity because the send any money no. Impofrim say no mean to me ye. Oh, bra, me mammy, me banner me in about crow, your child and starting a cry, stroke I no daho. I don't know to me solid nanti mammy, within the back crow. Oh, no, me team and not 20 no man, son or yale, ya me or mamma no, me 20 no. Ah, Banissa, the end, bra.
See, I ban say, Mwabena Mobe here, free penny for her.
Nobody but boy and beer, I bet to me the Sadia boy a brano, near here, film. Cause me niku, me mammy so papa so.
What is say or more treachery, ready for no one, Patash?
Try, my coach, me patry.
Mama Kafraway. Okay, so this is one of the affected traders, an agent who is telling us that she's lost virtually everything that she sold here in her store, and so she would really need help. She says that she is not able to quantify the loss she's suffered unless she sits and then put together the figures. So these remnants of bags of rice that were consumed by the fire, and it's a very very, very devastating scene, beholding some of these affected traders, like this woman who's also lost everything she owned here in the market. Mama Kafra, good morning.
Morning.
What's your name?
My name is Mary Tete.
Okay. So, how did the fire occur? Were you at the shop at the time the incident started?
And I said 4:30 na me we on not take us no friend say your shop on ash e dan na ye mienu bakuni ni almost in your be 1 billion in ash
over 100,000 cedis.
Ash
Motonia mabesa.
E ton alata samana.
Okay.
E shano wo kente ni gu ha no ya pata wo wonte ye ton na sansan na ye de begu ha no mo. I to say Brunia into your pese, ye bleaky caffeine, ye no ma be good hanomoa, ye beton and cacran.
And near man, the Akana go home.
We import the annual media, my sister, the yen and I, ye penny dear. But I may make the no, the almost de paper for hono, and then you go horse. I try you bet me alcohol.
Okay. And more section of the market, and near man, the Akani.
No man, the Akani by a pesa, ma container, no sooner as I say, you been by way crano, utomo be our own.
But, sir, your name penny for Nakasa said, yeah, blocks na cracking a risky mammo safety and I'm one casa more yet. I then I'm on Yabo Treno, Monbecle, and I'm on the
Omo de sisi anu bibia wo mo nche. Chomo na ye hwomo.
Enti mama ya ne won so nkasa kakra mpacho within the set.
Mpacho me de kakra.
Okay, kakra enti wo sister can say maboka over 100,000 that is
Mpacho true. Wednesday na pono di na mabegu.
But as traders, much me at the Kodia Porting, I am so a channel.
Yenti bibia family.
More market in my young uncle for Tai Shimura, and I say,
me who be sada.
Mechanism review or more years some the fire extinguishers, Baba Bubo had ye did do Mujano. Echo saying,
me show me who be sada.
How difficult any beya mamma say, Mobe to me as I am back into business?
Just a bambe boy. A bambo boy. You know, bamboa on wine.
It is a bambo boa mumpo, Nasa, more science started some more your business now. And she share Ben and Beppe Sempen for Bayer, especially more market leadership to ensure that Sir a giant incident ye been Sibyl.
Na just say be on my way na wokan no be to my boa e hye na be kofu.
Okay, so these are still some of the affected traders, and Kakra is telling me that it would really be very difficult for them to bounce back into business, except there is some sort of intervention from the government. She's also mentioned that when they come back into business, they would also want authorities to put in place adequate measures to ensure that such a disaster doesn't occur in the future any longer. And so this is the view of the entire area that has been consumed by the fire incident here in the Kasua New Market. Philip.
I would say thank you so much for your time. We are grateful. And I'm sure you've seen what is happening at the Kasua New Market after fire gutted the place yesterday. The Member of Parliament for the area, that is Ewutu Senya East, Phyllis, has spoken about plans that the government has to put in place to at least cushion these traders. You've also heard from the affected traders, some of whom have said that they lost wares to the tune of 100,000 Ghana cedis and a huge amount of monies that are in there. And also you heard from the National Disaster Management Organization. It has also stated plans to ensure that going forward there wouldn't be a disaster like that, and even if there should be, plans will be put in place to ensure that that will be addressed or stated. But we need to ask these questions that for how long are we going to see fire incidences happening in areas like this, in various markets? We see the politicians go there, we see the duty bearers go there, and all the things that are supposed to be said. It looks like it's a cycle. We keep hearing the same thing, but as to actions that must be put in place to immediately curb or control a fire, we are not really getting it. We get to the stage where it's totally destroyed, then we come in to say that, oh, there were measures that we were supposed to put in place. We should have done A, B, C, E, F, G, H. No, we have to be very proactive, I think, this year. We shouldn't see this, because last year it happened like that with Kantamanto. Yes, that was what really started the year. And this time round, it's actually the Kaswa New Market. We shouldn't wait for another one to happen again. So I think that what the duty bearers or the authorities are saying that will put in place going forward, it should be done immediately. Also, officials from the Ghana National Fire Service were there to ensure that the situation is brought under control. But we'll still be asking them more questions and we'll be following up on them. Before we go on a break, I would want to condemn the activity of the Ghana National Fire Service on the Class Media Group journalists. If what it is what we are saying really it is what really happened there, then I think shame on your personnel for really subjecting that journalist to that beatings, because it's not really allowed. What crime has a journalist gone to do there to film you? You were having an altercation with the residents there. For all you know, after that video may have come out, it would have actually helped your work, because what we understand is that they said the fire service personnel delayed to come to the place. And also, we know you have challenges, which you've actually made mention of. We know the Interior Minister has made mention of the fact that you'll be getting new fire tenders and all that. So what if the journalist was doing was a way to also help you, the Ghana National Fire Service people, to ensure that at least you go to the extent of getting the items you've been asking for. But we are getting a message from Desmond Aka, who is the Public Relations Officer for the Ghana National Fire Service. And he says that based on the report available to me, the journalist's phone was retrieved and handed over to the police for investigation. So let's wait for the outcome of the investigation. And per the briefing I have, there is no record of any journalist being assaulted in connection with the incident. So like I indicated, if what we are seeing and what we've heard is what it is, then we have to condemn it. But like the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service has indicated, Desmond Aka, some sort of investigation is going into the whole situation to unravel the truth in there. But we'll keep our eyes on the situation at the Kaswa New Market, and we'll be asking questions that are very relevant, and we'll be demanding the answers that also merit the questions that we'll be asking. So you'd want to stay with us here on Breakfast Daily on Channel One TV. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we have more for you on the show.
Full of questions, where truth often hides behind noise, one show dares to ask what truly matters face to face. With fearless clarity and a quest for accountability, host Umaru Sanda Amadou sits down with the movers and shakers of politics, governance, society, and business, confronting the issues that define our national conversation.
Yes, I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. This is Face to Face, and you're welcome.
I say very often on the floor of Parliament that when we were in government, we got some things right, we got some things wrong.
Are you still planning to go to Parliament, or you want to look at National Party office position?
No, I'll be going back to Parliament. There's an unfinished business which I need to do.
Sports has three legs: development,
management and promotion.
Disintegration is extreme. We do not wish that even on your worst enemy.
Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Umaru Sanda Amadou on Face to Face as he digs deeper, challenges power, and reveals the stories shaping Ghana's future. Only on Channel One TV.
The festive season can be chaotic and demanding, with everyone and everything vying for your attention.
My dear friend, you are most welcome to Lifeline. This is where we have very difficult conversations that people run away from into it.
Yeah.
How do we deal with the stresses that comes?
December definitely becomes a very stressful time of the year. It's pulling you, your family's pulling you, the finances are pulling you. So financially, yes, but also your energy. You realize that you're being pulled by everyone. Everyone has expectations of you, and you don't have the energy to make everybody happy.
This week, join Bishop Fred Crunchy-Mensah and his guest as they tackle managing holiday stress and overwhelm on Lifeline. Make it 8. Lifeline airs every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. sharp, only on Channel One TV.
Habibi, my people, welcome to Dubai. My name is Sheikh Alkal bin Maktoum. Okay, so I am Caleb, right? Caleb Kuda is my name, and this is Beyond Borders on Channel One Television. We are in Dubai. So join me. Let us explore the allure, the beauty, and the reality of life and living it in Dubai through the eyes and the experiences of our compatriots.
Imagine 6 people, 10 people sharing a common room together.
If you're not chinampe, na complain there in the sense, why do I share one rooms now? It doesn't smell pleasant. Or haunting no complaints now, baby, until they fear a new tomb.
Dubai is one of the most organized, highly resourced, and well-endowed countries you would find.
You've been here for 7 months.
Yes.
Without a job.
Yeah.
How is it like?
So hard.
Tell me about it.
Struggling, renting and feeding is so hard.
Every frame per second of their lives in Dubai tells a story, and we've got it all captured right here on Beyond Borders, only on Channel One Television. So don't get told, don't miss out. Catch these compelling stories of Ghanaians in Dubai only on Beyond Borders on Channel One TV.
Beyond Borders airs every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. only on Channel One TV and is brought to you by Copen Hospitality.
10 years of unforgettable memories, breathtaking sights, unlimited excitement, new friendships. And this March, we're turning it all the way up. From the 1st to the 8th of March 2026, get ready for the road trip of a lifetime. 8 epic days, 14 regions, 1 legendary caravan. We roll from Greater Accra through the Eastern region, cruise into the Northern and Upper East regions, vibe through the Western region, and hit many more iconic destinations across Ghana. It's culture, it's adventure, it's pure discovery with the best people and the best vibes. Expect non-stop fun, endless scenic views, deep cultural immersion, new networks, and friendships and memories that will outlive the journey. Seats are limited, and this is the 10th anniversary. You cannot miss it. Watch out for details soon.
We're grateful that you stay with us here on Breakfast Daily on Channel One TV. It's a new year, and definitely if it's a new year, we have New Year resolutions and all that. People want to hit the gym, others want to make more money, others want to drive a car, some want to build a house, and all the things you want to think about that you want to do in the year 2026. But have you thought of your health in terms of what you eat and all that? This morning we'll be talking about certain nutrition goals for health and wellness. Very important for us all. And in studio I have Ifwa Deswa Inshia Nomanyo, who is from the Deswa Diet Consult and also medical catering. We will delve into it deeper and ask her questions, what really she wants to give us this year as in our New Year gift by way of educating us, and also what you need to know as this year unfolds for you to either eat well and try and be very choosy when it comes to the kind of food you would want to be eating this year. Let's say nurse or doctor?
Dietitian.
Dietitian.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good.
How was your Christmas?
Very, very good. Very good. I haven't had it this good for quite some time.
Oh, really? What did you do?
I had time to rest, spend time with family, and eat.
Oh, okay. So let's come to the eat. What did you eat? Let's learn from you first.
So I ate a lot. I took it upon myself to explore. So I ate a lot of stuff that are normally not in my lane. Okay. I tried acheke. I have heard of acheke.
Oh, wow.
And this time I took acheke and I liked it. I tried, for a long time I hadn't taken pizza. I did one, and I did one modifying it to suit some conditions, and it came out very well, and I was so excited.
Oh, wow. You did it yourself?
Yes, I developed a recipe.
That's nice.
And I also developed a recipe for cake, and using oats and other stuff to have cake. You know, we all want to take cake, but diabetes, if you are diabetic, if you are on a diet and you want to take cake. I had a group exploring that for us, and it came out good. So I ended up tasting, and I was so happy with it. And I had time with family as well.
Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, so let's delve deeper into what you want to give us this year. Setting nutrition goals for health and wellness. How do we go about it? Okay. What are some of the steps you want to take us through?
Okay, so to have a nutrition goal, set and stick to, you have to be determined. Okay, it takes a lot of motivation. It takes a lot of determination
and discipline.
And so to be able to even set a goal, you have to do your own assessment. What is very important to you? Before you landed on nutrition, you mentioned quite a few: business, building a house, doing this. To achieve all this, you need a healthy body. So the foundation of life, quality life, is good nutrition for good health. To be able to stay healthy, to see your dream come true. So it becomes very important not to eat anyhow, but to eat mindfully. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve in this year? The past year, how did I feel? Did I feel unwell?
Yeah.
Did I lose energy? You know, sometimes you want to do more, but you realize you don't have the energy. And you are quick to take medication, even without consulting a doctor, because you feel tired and you have the headache, you have this. Forgetting that hydration is very key.
Okay.
So you realize that a lot of people go through the day forgetting to even drink water.
Oh, wow.
After you have done thorough assessment, as a dietitian, before I set a nutrition goal with my clients, we would have taken diet history. Diet history is going through your eating routine or food routine to be able to understand your eating habits, and also know or have a thorough or accurate nutrition diagnosis.
Okay.
Then be able to set the goal.
So you go into the history of that particular patient?
Yes, I should know what you like eating right from the time you are up from bed till you sleep.
Wow.
Without hiding anything. I'm your friend, I'm not judging you.
but of course, sometimes they'll hide because you tell me not to eat a particular food, but that's like my favorite.
So I should know your favorite so that I can adjust it to suit. One of my clients, I had a home consult with his family, and when I went, they served me a beverage. And you know, I'm not the beverage type, I'm the herbal tea type.
Oh.
So they gave me this cup and they insisted I drank it. I did. And it was good, I liked it. But whilst drinking it, he said I should pay attention to every details of the drink. I liked it. And it doesn't work well with my body.
Oh.
Because I'm not able to process milk well.
Oh, okay.
So I took about
half. You're lactose intolerant?
Yes.
Okay.
So I took half and I told him, I'm okay. I mean, because of how I treat my guts, I can take the full cup, but I don't overindulge so that I don't hurt myself.
Okay.
So I knew I could take the full cup, but the sugar in was too much for me. You know, after training yourself for a while, you are not able to take too much sugar because your tongue has been trained to not to accept certain things. So after drinking it, he said, this is what I like. How do you make it healthy for me?
Oh.
Okay. So don't tell me to put down this cup or put away this cup, but make it, modify it in a way that I could still have, if not the same, something similar.
Similar to it.
Yes. So I liked it, I loved, but he asked me to take one home and assess it further. I told him what I have drunk is okay. Okay, so it's about being frank. Yes, say one tongue we are
okay.
So if you meet a dietitian and want to hide something, you are not being honest to yourself, because my goal is to help you manage your disease and even slow down disease progression or halt it. Yeah. So if you are not honest, but to set your goal, you have to be honest with yourself.
Okay.
Let's assume you are even not with a dietitian, you are doing this on a personal level at home. You know that you are gaining a lot of weight. You know that you are slowing down in terms of energy. You know that you feel unwell most of the time. You know that doctor has even told you you are at the border level of diabetes or this. You know that this is common in my family. You know that you are not, you have been exposed to a lot of junk over the season. And so you have to stay healthy. Staying healthy for your goal, your major goal in life, is what is pushing you to take this decision. So honest assessment. After the honest assessment, what do I do? Now you want to eat healthy. What is even healthy food?
Okay.
Healthy food are the natural ones.
Okay.
Okay. So non-communicable diseases have become so common. So everybody can identify with one. Now cancer, diabetes, hypertension, heart diseases, all the cardiovascular diseases. You might have a friend or two who might have suffered stroke last year. You are not so different from him. So would this motivate you to make a decision to this time? At least introduce one whole grain to your food. Introduce vegetables to your food. Cut down on the sugar. If I say I'm not able to take sugar, it isn't because I'm a dietitian. It is probably a decision I might have made even before becoming a dietitian. If you want to prevent a common disease in your family. For instance, my mom is hypertensive, my dad is, and my auntie, 2 of my aunties. I have to be careful because my father's preferences, dietary preferences, are my preferences. Because he nurtured me. He introduced me to what he yes. So if you continue in that line, you cannot prevent that. So what can I do different from what my daddy taught me? Okay, probably reducing the salt when it comes to hypertension is very, very important. My dad was not the sausage and the corned beef and the Indomie and that type. But my dad was the Kaku type, the Kobe type. And most Akans identify with that. Probably I have to find a way to remove lots of the salt from it before cooking because I also like Kaku. I have grown up, that is my taste. Better still, I have to renew the taste, okay? So find another spice that might give me the same taste. Or I shouldn't be so sad even if I have to lose that taste. Okay, that is honest assessment, okay? And having a family with diabetes, you should know that cutting down on processed foods or refined carbohydrate becomes a necessity. Even with the hypertension, refined foods make it worse because now you have the salts, you have refined food. The refined food will give you the weight. The refined food will not give you the antioxidants and the fiber that will give you strong immunity. So I should introduce bit by bit whole grains. When I am eating rice, I should ensure that I'm eating it with lots of vegetables. If I can't add wheat or whole grain to the rice. Okay. If I'm the type that like a lot of meat, okay, I should know that 2025, probably I did a lot of goat, I did a lot of beef, but this time let me go for the lean ones and the white meats.
Okay, which are?
We choose the white meat, that is chicken.
Okay.
We choose the white meat over the red meat.
Okay.
Okay, so we will go for the chicken, but even the chicken, we have to remove the skin.
Wow.
Okay, and after removing the skin before cooking so that we have reduced the fats further.
Wow.
Okay, in that case, this is lean, this is healthy. If I can't do it all the time, at least let's start weekends. Weekends when you're home, can you remove the skin before you cook? Back to the kitchen. Because of the work schedule, you are forced to eat outside. That is the norm. Once a week, can I cook for myself? And when I'm cooking for myself, can I go all natural? At least I have introduced healthy bits to my foods.
Wow.
Okay. If you are eating out and it is not a health-conscious kitchen, they will not remove the skin. Okay. So that is setting the goal based on your vision. So if your vision is to reduce fats, you have to ensure that you are not only reducing the fats. So if somebody is supposed to reduce fats, he wants to stay away from fried foods and unhealthy oil. But you have to introduce healthy oil. You should not stay away from fats. So that you say, I'm going for a boom and I'll not add oil. That is unhealthy.
Oh, really?
If the doctor hasn't asked you not to add oil, please add oil, but it should be a good oil, the right quantity.
Wow.
Oil is good, but it's the quantity.
Okay.
So if you have done your abum, which is the best you can ever take, because you are not frying it for it to absorb the oil, then you are you heat your oil with onions, either engo, if it is angwa, the kind of angwa, we will readily go for the olive oils, the extra virgin olive oil. If you don't have and you have your regular ones, 2 tablespoons on your abum is enough.
It's okay.
But
so like
without
you have to see
it,
such like that.
Yes, but even if you put the 2 tablespoons, the eye will appreciate.
Okay.
So that alone gives you the satisfaction. That is why I like abum.
Oh.
If you stew it, 1, you have destroyed the oil because you have overcooked it, and 2, by the time if you use 2 tablespoons to cook, by the time you finish, you don't see any oil, and so you would think,
I need more oil.
The food is not appetizing, so you might want to add more. But if you had done the abum and you have added your palm oil or palm oil from a good source, and your coconut oil
we don't have enough time. For once, I'm feeling like I'm in a consulting room, away from what we are doing on TV. But briefly, take us through so the final tips, then we can just wrap up on that.
Okay, so final tip, make sure nutrition goes with exercise. Make sure that you are moving a lot this year. Make it a point that every morning or evening or even in your work schedule, you find space to move. Go natural. Natural is health. I always say nature preserves nature. This is a natural body. So to be able to maintain your immunity, the gifts God has given you, you have to feed it with nature. Okay? If you feed it with artificial will not support.
Which artificial is?
Artificial is your everything processed.
Okay.
So your canned tomatoes, your corned beef, your ketchup, your sausages, your everything labeled. It has become so difficult to stay away from it, but at least we can reduce it.
Okay.
Reduce it, take a step at a time. Reduce it, let your plate be more natural. Then it's difficult preparing gravy without tomato paste, but once or twice a week, do it without tomato paste.
Just the tomatoes raw.
That is what takes you back to your abum. You don't need tomato paste. You don't need artificial spices.
There's this notion that staying on diet or doing all these things is very expensive. Is it true?
It is not.
From where is it?
It is not expensive at all. See, for the past 3 weeks, I have had one executive on admission. I asked myself, end of year, you have a lot to do, but we are doing this, fighting for life. Which one is more expensive?
It's true. It's true.
So maintaining good health is very, very, very cheap when we make the decision. When you have your okra and tomatoes grinded to go with your eba or your bangkong or your kinky, it's not expensive. Your fried fish or your shitolo, but please, the shitolo, don't season it with a lot of artificial spices. It's not expensive.
Wow.
If you go with your natural spices and you combine it well, your shitolo with your fresh pepper and your banku, the shitolo will give you the oil and the protein, and you have your cups with a lot of.
Well, we will have to make another time and get you in studio so that we can talk more of the things that we need to do this year. You've given us a few, but we'll start with discipline.
Discipline.
Very important.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Deswa Isian Nomanyo is a registered dietitian, and she's with the Deswa Diet Consult and Medical Catering. Well, let's start this together. Let's be disciplined. Let's see how things are going to work, because it's a new year and we would have to set new goals when it comes to nutrition goals and also wellness and health. Very important. Thank you so much for coming. We will definitely bring you in studio again and have more conversation on this. But for now, let's bring you entertainment highlights of the day.
Well, hello and welcome to Entertainment Highlights on Breakfast Daily. My name is Ni Komete Kome, and this is proudly powered by GhanaWeekend.com. Visit GhanaWeekend.com today. Now to our first highlight. Free the youth turned Good Park into a vibrant hub of youth culture with the maiden Free the Youth Wave, blending street fashion, sports and music into one high-energy experience. The day kicked off with basketball, skating and pop-up activities before exploding into a night rave featuring top Ghanaian acts like Sarkodie, R2Bs, Joey B, Kofi Mole, alongside international star A$AP Ferg and DJ Maforisa. The brand also unveiled its new Air Jordan collection, earning public praise from Sarkodie. The event confirmed Free the Youth as a major cultural force shaping Ghana's next generation. Now to our next highlight. Ghana enjoyed a landmark year across global culture with major breakthroughs in art and music. Ibrahim Mahama made history as the first African top 10 arts review Power 100, while Molly became the first Ghanaian female artist to break into the US Billboard Top 10 through a viral, fan-driven hit. Now, 1-year-old Ace Liam entered the Guinness World Records as the youngest male artist, and Amare became the first Ghanaian solo act to perform at Coachella, confirming her global pop status. Joel Quaison won 2025 Dior Award. Amoako Boafo debuted his first solo exhibition in South Korea, and Jules strengthened his international standing with a Grammy-nominated work, underlying Ghana's growing influence on the world stage. Now to our next highlight. Ghanaian comedian Lexi the Comic has called out the entertainment industry for focusing too heavily on music while ignoring other successful art forms. In a Facebook post, he said fashion shows, poetry nights, theater and comedy events also thrived in December, but received little attention on entertainment talk shows. Lexi, whose real name is Emmanuel Ansong, stressed that even if the sidelining is not deliberate, non-music creatives deserve equal recognition. His comments have been widely supported by fans and fellow artists, reigniting debate about balance in Ghana's creative industry. Now to our next highlight. Organizers of the Afrofuture Festival have denied online claims that a gun was fired on the festival grounds, describing the reports as false and misleading. In a statement, the team said no such incident occurred and confirmed there was no security disruption linked to any firearm. They stressed that the event operated under strict safety protocols and in close coordination with Ghana Police Service. Afrofuture also warned about the dangers of online misinformation and reassured the public that the festival remains a safe, family-friendly celebration of culture and creativity. Now let's check out Channel 1 TV's Top 10 Countdown.
Number 8. Number 7.
Many baby, I promise to lean, drift to the toes, me the be. Mato Balenciaga, Bariaka, yeah, David Beshe, David Beshe. Matona Metiaka, send me sending brain, no, I made it. Number 12 is 550. Some is Yaka, many baby, I promise to lean, drift to the toes.
Number 6. Number 5. Number 4. Number 3.
Maestro da babano, Mr. DJ, Mamu Jimmy Bina, Daddy Lumba Bueno, Yadi bet me Meswana Miko, Deji Damonjamana, Daddy Lumba Bueno, Aquanume, Anume, Memreswa Namiko, Jumanity baby, I mean, Munjumini. Papa Master, when you DJ drum the bang and make I dance with my big shoes. Shy all day I wanna take a shot to Obama. I promise I'm on me and you get issues. Shy all day I wanna take a shot to Obama. I promise I'm on me and you get issues. I want to forget my name when I'm on yours. If I rap, make you sing my chorus.
Number 1.
And I be you into me, Menteda, Moida, Mammy, me the Jumadina, Timsumidi, Muadidi Dabayo, and I could be into me,
Inti dene son, Chairman Yanko Ponka Sian and Sano, or Tam the Bowato, or Kawa, won't any pano. Papa Kai will mark me him, say 1 year be Crano, and ye medi, into me bompaya, minim Sankano, Ejina was so into.
This is the Channel 1 Countdown.
And that's it for today's entertainment highlights. For breaking news, exclusive interviews, and everything happening across Ghana's creative scene, visit GhanaWeekend.com and follow Ghana Weekend on all social media platforms. Stay connected, stay entertained, and stay glued. GhanaWeekend.com. This was presented by Ni Komite Kome.
And of course, visit GhanaWeekend.com for more stories. And definitely you're going to get a lot of the information that you need when it comes to the world of entertainment. Let's now bring you more on the show. Let's move into the world of sports. And just breaking news that is coming is that the coach of Man United has been sacked. That is Ruben Amorim. But Yao Minta is in studio for us to discuss this and other things in the world of sports. What happened to him?
Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to myself. Happy New Year to you.
Thank
Philip.
you, my brother. But why should a new year start like this?
Yeah, the new year has started on the hasty note, very hasty, like blistering
Manchester
note.
United.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, look, Donald Trump is doing his thing
in Venezuela.
Yeah, he's doing his thing in Venezuela. Chelsea recently sacked their head coach. I think it was the new year. Yeah, it was in the new year.
New year.
Yeah,
Okay.
Chelsea sacked their head coach in the new year, and Man United have also sacked their head coach in the new year. So yeah, 2026 has gotten up to a very blistering note. 2025 was kind of, slow upheavals all the way, but 2026 clarity, like straightforward action, and yeah, it came as a shock. I mean, I was in the office just preparing for today's show. I didn't have much to say about Man United except they getting a 1-1 draw with Leeds United yesterday in the English Premier League. It was going to this section was supposed to be heavy on AFCON and Manchester City's failure to close up the gap on Arsenal. I mean, they drew with Chelsea, and so now Arsenal have a 6-point advantage over Manchester City. Then the news broke that, Ruben Amorim has been sacked. Which was a big shock.
Wow.
I never expected it because the guy's contract, more or less, after this season, he just has 1 more year. And that 1 more year, most of the time, that's when coaches get sacked.
But mind you, last year there were calls that he should be sacked.
Yeah, but that was way too early in his tenure as Manchester United head coach. And so they wanted to wait it out, wanted to see it out. And a co-owner of of Manchester United, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, his company owns 25% of Manchester United. That's Ineos, the Ineos Group. He's a British billionaire, and he granted an interview later in 2025, the latter part of 2025, and he said, he sees Ruben Amorim hanging around for at least multiple more years to come, at least 10 years to come. But things changed. I mean, things changed quickly, and it's all about the results.
Okay, so he wasn't performing.
He wasn't performing. His team wasn't performing, and on top of that, there were issues behind the scenes. As always, there are definitely clash of heads, clash of egos behind the scenes. But if you are delivering the results, winning cures all ills.
Prior to coming to Manchester United, which team was he handling?
He was with Sporting Lisbon, and he did very well with the team, got them to win the Portuguese league title, got them to make a remarkable run in the Champions League and the Europa League, and they were very competitive. They were just brilliant, to the extent that before he left Sporting Lisbon to Manchester United, one of his final games with Sporting Lisbon, he got Lisbon to beat Manchester City, and with Pep Guardiola and all. And so that was very impressive.
And that was what I can say was his track record that led him to.
Yes, I mean.
So I think he's good. Maybe the system that didn't really favor him, or the people he's working with.
I think with Man United, you saw one issue, then another issue pops up, and it will take a while, but you don't have a lot of time this time around in the modern space of sports. It's not just football, because coaches are getting fired left, right, center, all over the place. Be it in tennis, be it in basketball, be it in rugby. It's happening all over.
Wow.
Boxers are changing their trainers just like that, because it's quick-oriented results. They want quick-oriented results, quick-oriented changes. So if they don't get those changes, then boom, you go. Because at the end of the day, your financial package, it will be sorted out. So looking at the amount of money that's coming into sports these days, I mean, sacking or parting ways with a coach, or even in some cases a player who is disgruntled, you can pay off that contract and get to part ways with that person. And so, Ruben Amorim, 14 months in charge of Manchester United, it has come to an end. I expected, it's a big shock, I expected him to see out the season, then possibly get sacked if the results between now and the end of the season, which is in mid-May, didn't improve. But the clash of egos, he and Wilcox, the technical head of Manchester United, there were some issues in there. And on top of that, like I said, winning cures all ills. Man United haven't been doing so well in recent weeks. They've been dropping points that they should have won. They have been dropping games that they should have won and being third place in the English Premier League standings. But at this point in time, they are sixth. And when you consider that Liverpool, upon all the upheavals that they've gone through, now ranked fourth ahead of Manchester United, sometimes, yeah, it makes you a little bit frustrated because Man United lost to Everton at home. They drew with AFC Bournemouth at home. Mind you, that Everton game, Everton played over half an hour of that game with one man down. And they still ended up beating Man United at Old Trafford, their home ground. They drew 4-4 with AFC Bournemouth at Old Trafford. They just yesterday, they drew 1-0 with Leeds United, a team that's quite ranked low. And on top of that, they drew 1-0 with Wolves. Wolves ranked bottom of the Premier League standings. Wolves ranked bottom of the Premier League standings.
We shouldn't be saying Man U go down low for...
No. At the end of the day, even in the lead up to that game against Manchester United, Wolves had recorded just 2 points all season long. And they managed to get a point at Old Trafford against Manchester United. So the results weren't good. And on top of that, there were some clashes behind the scenes. And so when you put those two things together, yeah, one has to go, and definitely.
Per your search, do you know who is going to take over now?
Looks like Oliver Glasner is the bookies' favorite to take over as Manchester United head coach.
Let's see how that
works. He's the head coach for Crystal Palace. He's done a fairly good job with Crystal Palace, leading them to win the FA Cup and the Community Shield, which is the English version of the Super Cup. And so, and look at the team, the way the team plays, Crystal Palace that is, and what he's been able to get out of players like Mateta, out of players like Eberechi Eze, Ismail Assar. Yeah, he's done a fairly good job. And so he looks like the biggest candidate out there to replace Ruben Amorim, especially knowing very well that he didn't renew his contract. And so at the end of this season, his contract will end and he'll become a free agent. And so what that means is he has just 5 more months to run down his contract, and that makes him gettable because they can pay off his, they can pay him and buy him out of his contract. So
we wish Amorim all the best in his future endeavors. But now let's come to Africa. AFCON.
Yeah, AFCON.
I was sad when Sudan.
I mean, but once they got paired,
Senegal, right?
Yeah. Once they got paired against Senegal, you knew that the Cinderella run was coming to an end. And so Kwesi Appiah, he's done a massive job, a great job with Sudan, getting them to make it to the round of 16. Remember, in the lead up to they getting to the round of 16, they managed the win, which was their second win in the AFCON after 1970. After 1970, they had just recorded 1 win in the AFCON.
Oh wow!
Prior to Kwesi Appiah aiding Sudan to get that win in this year's AFCON, and so that's a massive step, especially when back in those days, back in the prior years, they lead up to this tournament, Sudan was fairly stable.
Yeah.
Now, over the past 3 years, Sudan has been engaged in a civil war, and nothing is going on in the country. And so to get these players to qualify to the AFCON and to qualify beyond the group stage, that's a great job done by Kwesi Appiah. And so, you have to commend them. I mean, playing against Senegal and losing by 3-1, it was always coming because of the immense quality that the Senegalese have. So there's nothing
which other countries are making waves?
Like I said, Senegal have qualified. Mali also drew 1-0 with Tunisia. They played more than an hour of football with a man down. They managed to get a 1-0 draw, and they forced the game into penalties, and they won on penalties to qualify. And so Senegal versus Mali in the quarterfinals. And yesterday, as you can see behind me, Cameroon ended up beating South Africa by 2-1, which is one of the biggest shocks for me, because
but I think Cameroon is a good it's a
good team.
They have South Africa to save. Bafana.
Yeah, Bafana. South Africa was my pick, my favorite to win the AFCON.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. The last AFCON.
So that means they are going home.
Yeah, they are going home. Round of 16. Yes, elimination. Yeah, the last AFCON they finished third, and they had improved the depth in quality of the team, especially after they qualified to the World Cup. recently. And so I thought that, yeah, the confidence that they have after qualifying to the World Cup, being able to maintain pretty much the same squad, mainly they are local-based players. They are based in South Africa because the South African league is very rich, and so they're able to retain most of their talent. And so that cohesion is there, the experience is there. So they were my favorite pick to win the AFCON. But unfortunately, they run into a very resilient Cameroonian side, a Cameroonian side that has been reshaped and reorganized. I mean,
I like Cameroon those days because of Alhaji Diouf.
No, Diouf is Senegal.
Senegal, right?
Yeah, Senegal. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Cameroon. I'm pretty sure you're talking about Eto'o. Yes.
Eto'o.
Samuel Eto'o. Yes, Samuel Eto'o. He's now their Football Federation president.
Okay.
And
but then again, let me go back to Diouf because Diouf was making a lot of waves in Senegal.
Yeah,
then,
back in the 2000.
With the dyed hair.
Yeah, the dyed hair. Yeah, 2002. Yeah, and so yeah, I was very shocked that Cameroon managed to do it. And mind you, Cameroon just 3 weeks before the start of the AFCON, they replaced their head coach, brought in David Pago. They brought in new players. They dropped the established players like Andre Onana. Zambo Anguissa got injured. Then Vincent Abubakar also got dropped. And so this is a new crop of players. And you can tell that they are really, really determined to prove everyone wrong. And they did one yesterday by beating South Africa, one of the favorites.
Are you now tipping Cameroon to win?
No, I'm not tipping Cameroon to win.
Also doing their own thing.
And Cameroon, yes, and Morocco ended up beating Tanzania by 4-0. I'm not convinced by Morocco, though they are getting the job done. I mean, 4 wins in 4 games, but I'm still not convinced.
Morocco is doing like host and win.
I don't think they'll be able to do host and win.
Really?
Oh yeah, I don't think they'll be able to do host and win.
Hey, really?
Because they haven't been very, very impressive. But the teams that I pick, now that one of my favorites
is out,
yeah. I'll still go with, I'll go with Senegal. They were my 3rd pick to win the title. And I'll go with my 2nd pick, that's DR Congo.
Okay.
Yeah, DR Congo to make it to the final. And funny enough, they are on either side of the bracket. They are on the opposite side of the bracket. So if they manage to get to the final,
they could meet at finals.
Those two could potentially meet at the final. And yeah, I think that would be a very great game to...
That was Senegal and DR Congo?
Yeah, Senegal and DR Congo. Okay. DR Congo finished 4th at the last AFCON, and Senegal won it in 2021. So, yeah, you look at the quality that both teams have.
But you have a show on radio that you do?
Yeah. 3 to 4 p.m. AFCON Daily on TTFM. So you can tune in and enjoy all the analysis and the breakdown on everything happening at the AFCON in Morocco. It's also on YouTube, and so you can join in.
So Monday to Friday?
Yeah, Monday to Friday. So Ghana is not there, but I mean, there's a lot to talk about.
So Monday to Friday, you can join City 97.3 FM. It's on there. It's also streaming live from 3 to 4. That is AFCON Daily. You can join the sports guys to understand what really is happening once AFCON is concerned, and which particular country may end up being the winner in this AFCON, or the AFCON that is currently ongoing. I am Philip Nilate. The show, Nana Tufo Boatin, started, and this is how we wrap up today's edition of Breakfast Daily here on Channel One TV. Many thanks for your time, and keep watching Channel One TV.